Josh. Well, wouldn't you like to know? Perhaps right here. I slept in a bit, so I am a little bit less prepared than I usually like to be for my streams. I do have all my stuff together. I just didn't get enough time to organize them in my thoughts. And my baseline level preparedness is pretty fucking low, so I gotta make do with what I got. Hello chat, the early chatters, the chatters that are the most dedicated. They know that a noon o'clock feeding is a coming, and they set up their phones to notify them, and they line up, open the streams immediately. Everybody else I know, they're smart enough. Most streamers have the IQ to get like a 10-minute long intro sequence together, so that when they start the stream, they know that like 80% of their audience isn't going to be there. So they just let it like play for 10 minutes, and then they actually start the stream, and then they have a full audience and they begin. However, I am mentally deficient in several ways, to my detriment. So I just start talking immediately after the stream starts. I'm like, "Hello, guys," and then by the time 80% of the audience is in, I'm like, "Okay, well, here's the hamsters. Goodbye." All right, like Medicare and Kino Casino both do it. Every streamer I know of, they have even Staven Benell. He plays like 10 minutes of the fucking gnome walking animation, and then he starts talking. But not me. Not me. I expect everybody to keep a schedule, and then I don't keep a schedule, and that's how it goes. Cool. Let's get the news hamster up. I remember today I got a tin of oysters, smoked oysters in. I think smoked oysters are perhaps my favorite snack at this point in time. It's almost pure protein, and it tastes delicious. And there's literally no downside, except for the fact that your breath is then irreparably the smell of smoked oysters, which many people consider to be repugnant. Thankfully, though, you guys are across the internet. You don't smell it. And my printer has randomly decided to update itself right now. So if you hear printer noises, that is the machine god deciding that my printer has urgent business to attend to. Okay. Might as well eat cum. No, I don't think so. Alright, let's start by talking about something everybody is extremely interested in, and that is the urgent business of Harry Potter. The news came out, everyone complained about it. Severus Snape, who was portrayed by British actor, I don't know his fucking name, but he is one of the best British actors of all fucking time. He has like this eminently dark, foreboding presence with like the most recognizable voice of all time, besides like James Earl Jones, the guy that does Darth Vader. Alan Rickman, of course. They're replacing him with Papa Isidu. I'm sure that Papa Isidu is an extremely competent and talented actor, best able to portray the character, the very complicated, tortured character of Severus Snape. If you don't know, the story of Severus Snape is this. He was a goth girl in the Hogwarts, and he was a angsty boy, and he loved, I think it was Lily Potter was her name, the mother, and he was like her biggest beta orbiter in the entire fucking world, and he followed her for like years. But she of course doesn't know when she's talking to a nice guy, okay, and she instead wants the fucking jock. And that's actually literally what what's her face wrote into the story, is that she ignores Snape because he's just an angsty dweeb, and gets with James Potter, not to be confused with John Potter, who is literally like a Chad Thundercock sports like guy. He's like the master Quidditch guy. He's like top of his class, Gryffindor Chad, and she just completely shuns him to the wayside and ignores him. And I'm not making this up. This is literally in the books. I've read them. And then Severus continues to like idolize her, even though she gets married and has children, or a child rather. And then she dies to his king, Lord Voldemort, and he still has like this unbreakable love for her. So he treats Harry like shit, not because he's the Dark Man, but because that is like the literal cuckold baby that he feels should be his. But he still loves Lily, so he literally dies to protect Harry Potter, even though that is the cuckold baby. So they went through the dark and sordid history of Severus Snape. If you want to send a Super Bear, you gotta send it through Rumble. That's the only option right now. That might be fixed in a bit. Or you can go to XMR chat, xmrchat/Maddie. So they looked at this dark, sordid history of Severus Snape, and they thought, this guy, Papa Esidu, this guy can do it. This guy can pull it off. This guy looks like a beta buck orbiter simp cuckold that's gonna kill himself for his idle woman's other child, another man. Sucks to be him, I guess. Speaking of misery in the United Kingdom, we have a report from, I don't know who the fuck, but the report came out that says that the poorest people in the United Kingdom are now better or less well off than the poorest people in Slovenia. If you do not know where Slovenia is, I will educate you. Slovenia is this very weird country that has a very long history and is tucked between Italy and Austria on the eastern side as a part of the former Yugoslavia. And I think the other country it borders is Croatia. It may also touch Hungary, but I'm not 100% sure. It's basically entirely mountains. It has a capital I cannot pronounce. It's like Ljubljana or some shit. It's like an actual fucking made-up word that nobody actually says. They just say it's the capital of the country. They don't actually try to say Ljubljana. And apparently the mountain people... All I know from Slovenia is that they make the best fucking milk in the entire world. When I was in Serbia, there was a brand of milk called like Alpsko or something. And it was the nicest, freshest, cleanest, purest tasting fucking milk I've ever had. So the cows up there probably live better than everybody in England as well, because they make some bomb-ass milk. So if you had the choice, if there was like a Buddhist reincarnation cycle and you were being de-incarnated to a lower rung from human being, and you had to choose to be English or a Slovenian cow, definitely pick the Slovenian cow. Your life will be a million times better. Sucks to be English, I guess, but they fucking deserve it. Though the EU, they might graciously take them back and spread the torch of civilization back to that wretched island. The European Central Bank has announced the plan for a digital euro as soon as October 2025. So they're ready to go. They've been working on this for several years. This is a video of the head of the ECB wearing an ascot for some unforeseen fucking reason. She looks like she's trying to dress as the guy from Scooby-Doo who also wears an ascot. It's like she has like her throat was slit and she's trying to hide the scar. So I hate her. I'm not much of a fashionista, but there's something about her stupid bright orange fucking like pantsuit and her black shirt and ascot around her neck that is like visually repulsive to me. Like, bitch, you're looking like you're dressing up for fucking Halloween. I don't understand what the hell this is, especially in front of that blue background. Like, fucking Christ. Oh, sorry. I said the thing that's going to trigger the fucking Spurg. That's from Croatia. This guy has received no attention in over a year, and he still makes accounts every single fucking day to spam the same goddamn thing at me. And then everyone reports him because they hate him, and then I ban him. He's been doing this literally for a year without encouragement. It's like he thinks that he's applying for Fight Club or something. And after a while, I'm just gonna be like, oh, you know what? You've been annoying for a year without any kind of encouragement. So I'm gonna let you into the dormitory. I'm gonna shave your head. Here's your bunk. Here's your cot. I do love Halloween. I just don't think that Halloween's appropriate in March. So the plans for this digital currency are, of course, the nightmare that everybody would expect if you were to expect that the government would have complete and total control over your finances at every single waking second, and you have absolutely no way to hide your money from the government in any conceivable fashion. First of all, taxes will be automatically deducted from any payment that you receive. Every single payment that you make to any other company in the entire world will be tracked and logged in the government database forever and ever and all time. The government will have the ability to block transactions to what they consider high risk or sanctionable entities with or without cause, without appeal, the usual good stuff like that. There will be no cash whatsoever because cash, of course, is bad for the environment, I've been told. Printing paper is actually really terrible. God knows that paper, I think their bills are made of plastic even. So it's like, oh man, that stuff's never going to decay. It's never going to biodegrade. What a waste. You can't have bills biodegrade. That defeats the purpose. So bad for the environment. Thankfully, they're getting rid of that and you're going to have to depend on their system completely. Everything will be super convenient. You'll go to the store and you'll buy as much junk as you possibly can imagine. And before you even have the second to think that maybe you don't actually need some of the shit, you'll be able to press your EU phone against the EU payment pad and you'll be able to pay EU dollars for junk before you even have just a second to think, actually, this is all fucking garbage. I don't even need. And then they will be able to tap into your bank accounts directly because, of course, the money doesn't exist and it's just a computer somewhere like a fucking, like a video game. Like, oh, you have 47 sapphires on your Diablo Immortal account on your phone. Well, that just exists on a Blizzard server, and you'll basically have Diablo Immortal sapphires for your main money. That just exists on an ECB bank somewhere, and you will have no control over it for convenience sake, so that you can buy more shit that you don't fucking need. Cool. Thank you, EU. Please help out the UK. I heard they're in dire straits at the moment. Back in the US, Alex Jones has announced that one of his reporters was assassinated. He says, "We are deeply saddened to inform you that InfoWars reporter Jamie White was brutally murdered around midnight Sunday night, due in part to the policies of Soros, Austin, Texas, DA Jose Garza. We pledge that Jamie's tragic death will not be in vain, and those responsible for this senseless violence will be brought to justice. Jamie's important work will be carried on through InfoWars, our readers, and our cherished listeners." I think this is the police report for it. The news segment, but we don't need to watch all that. And then immediately after this guy dies, by the way, I think two other reporters for the InfoWars were swatted. So this is Chase Geyser saying, "I was just swatted again moments ago, just before 2 a.m. 6 to 8 police officers used a PA system to call me by my name and order me to walk out of my house. I was handcuffed in the middle of the street, presumably at gunpoint, though I couldn't tell because of the light being shined in my face. I was then led into my house where my wife was woken up and we were informed that we received a call from someone pretending to be me and threatening to kill my family." And then he even has the camera footage of it, which shows the police rolling up and ordering him to do shit in his own fucking driveway. It's kind of amazing. Like, that tour swats guy got, like, how many years? It was like a bullshit sentence. So it's, and we only can hope that he turned, like, a bunch of other people buying it. But honestly, this shit should just be attempted murder because people can die during this. People have died during this. And the government is really not doing enough. And I hesitate to be like, the government's not doing enough, but the government caused this fucking issue so they can fix it. We have a paramilitary police force that can drop in on any kind of gang war violence at a moment's notice and put it down. But as a consequence of giving the government the authority to, like, drop a tank in the middle of our driveway, we expect some due diligence. I think that's appropriate. Like, hey, you have to actually make sure that this isn't bullshit, and you have to be, like, responsible, and you have to, like, learn when this is happening with certain people. But probably asking for a bit much there. Next, I personally enjoyed this clip, so let's watch.
Harder.
Let's make it quieter.
But you need to try
so
less.
This is like an Asian preacher man on the streets of I don't know where, and he's talking about gender differences and how it's not biblical that there is transgenders. Let's see what the transgender reaction to this is.
Being like somebody you're not, and start to humble yourself and be somebody that God made you to be. He didn't make a man to be a woman. He made the man to be a man. He didn't make the woman to be a man. He made the woman to be a woman. And this is the truth. What are you going to do? Come attack me now?
I should.
Hey, man, that's up to you. If you want to pull that on me, well, God bless you. So you just threatened me with a gun. You just pulled a gun on my face. Man, Lord have mercy on you. This means that you don't even know who you are. Nope, I still love you. Even though you pulled a gun on me, I still love you. I still bless you. Harder. But you...
Asian man completely unfazed. Having been from an Asian country, he has faced imminent death many times. There have been many escalators that have tried to consume him, and he has walked through the valley of death, but has feared no evil. And so a tranny walks up and pulls a fucking I don't know. From the second I got it looked like a Desert Eagle. It looked like a ridiculously large hand cannon that no one should ever everyday carry. Like, I guess he has a purse to put it in, so he has a little bit more freedom. But that, honestly, it looks like a 50 caliber handgun that he just pulled on this chinky man. It's like, I'm gonna blow you apart. I'm gonna atomize you for your crimes of speech and thought. But even facing against Israel's strongest weapon, he flinched. I guess he did flinch a little bit. I guess because it's more like a flinch of like he's trying to hit him. He doesn't even realize it's a gun until he's like, "What the fuck? Are you serious?" And then he just immediately leans back forward. So I think he's like just kind of not even. I don't know. He's like leaning backwards to avoid being struck, as opposed to being shot. Because there's no point like drawing away to avoid being shot. Looks like a pirate cannon. Let's see. Gay pirate has a flintlock. Is that a flintlock pistol? They better not miss then. Cool. More on the Zitter front. I actually have a couple different things related to Hex, as it were. First of all, I think the Kiwi Farms is now achieving a higher uptime than X because Elon is claiming that X is being DDoS attacked. He says there was or still is a massive cyber attack against X. We get attacked every day, but this was done with a lot of resources, either a large coordinated group or a country is involved. And he says tracing. He's back tracing their IP addresses, and the consequences will never be the same. He'll send the dog after them. Woof woof. Who let the dog out? Elon did. He's got the scent hound hunting down the cyber attackers for the benefit of X, so like people can shit post and copy paste the same fucking slop 8 million times. They did some digging into that guy, by the way. The based broccoli head zoomer that said racist shit about Indians and then got fired and rehired. He briefly worked for Path and then was supposedly a member of certain sadism Discord and Telegram groups, like 764 or whatever adjacent. I'm not sure how true that is. This guy is a part of something called the Com, if I remember correctly. And I know 2 people adjacent to that because it's the Com, from my understanding, is like a bunch of retard kids got into networking and they played around with low-level internet infrastructure, kind of like gray hat, just like fucking around, like some legitimate business, some like not legitimate business, like fast flex type stuff. So I know people adjacent to that just because of the Drop Kiwi Farm stuff. And one of them is not willing to vouch for him and says that he's a bad person. And the other one is willing to vouch for him and says that he's not a bad person. And his time at Path was only for like a couple months. And he was fired because of, I forget his name. I want to say it starts with an M. Marcus? He's the guy that owns Path, and he's a complete fucking douchebag, and everybody hates him. Even his friends hate him. But apparently I've seen a video of this Marcus guy that owns Path. He was demanding like screen sharing. Like employees had to share their personal computer screen with him or they were instantly fired. And he was like, okay, I'm going to see all your conversations with all these people. I think that he was even trying to find this guy. He was trying to find evidence that this guy in particular had stolen company secrets. And by company secrets, I mean DDoS filtering algorithms and stuff like that. Because I think he went off to either work for another company or to start. He went off to work with Cosmic, who's owned by a guy called Renee, who is now in the DDoS mitigation business. If I remember correctly, it was Cosmic. And I'm aware of Cosmic because I've been trying to get on their network for fucking ages, but it just hasn't happened. So he left Path and joined Cosmic, and then Marcus went insane and started asking like all records of employees and screen sharing of employees. And it was just like a blatant violation of employee privacy. And he fired people anyways because he's a demented retard. Very complicated business. like I said, it's like a gray hat networking thing that is I'm vaguely aware of just because I need so much help with networking that I know a lot of people on it at this point. Cool. I hope he likes us. That's my only wish. I hope he likes us. Then on the X news, we have Alejandro Caraballo, who is the troon that, if you don't remember, was the dumpy troon from Harvard. I want to say Harvard. He's like not a lawyer, but he's like a helper at Harvard, I want to say. And he is a tranny, and he's Hispandex, or Latinx if you prefer. And he defamed the Kiwi Farms, and after our legal crowdfunding, he deleted his message. We still have the option to sue him, but I'm trying not to waste too much money at the moment. And then he went in front of Congress and was humiliated by Nancy Mace, who you know now probably is the based anti-tranny congresswoman. But at the time, she was a little bit unknown. She hadn't really made a name for herself before she started shitposting on Twitter. This was so long ago that Nancy Mace was even using she, her for pronouns to describe the tranny. But Alejandro is now on Blue Sky and has decided to post a list of all emails and names and I think even phone numbers of the employees of the Doge, so that people can better harass them. And this has resulted in Elon banning him from Zitter. Not that it matters because he's on Blue Sky, which is basically state-sanctioned stochastic terrorism, as it were. So you can get away with anything as long as it's against the right targets on Jack Dorsey's new gay dating site. Suspended. And then actually, let me find something real quick. Sorry, I forgot something in the archive of it. Oh, okay. Well, it seems that the Internet Archive, has blocked X as a domain. Now, what's funny is that if you go to this and you type in kiwifarms.net, you get the same exact error. It used to say that this website was excluded from the Wayback Machine. Now they're being covert. Now it just says there was an error. Oh, the error was that you deliberately instructed your program not to honor my request. That's the fucking error. There's an error in your brain, basically. So X has now joined the proud legion of the Kiwi Farms and being banned by archive.org. So I remind everybody that if you do donate to the Internet Archive, that you should stop because it's completely retarded. I can't remember. Oh, it was that fucking journo. Who was that journo that showed up at Libs of TikTok's door? It's fuck, I can't remember her name. Taylor Lorenz, that's it. Taylor Lorenz, of course, doxed Libs of TikTok and her family, and then personally showed up to the door of her family member. Something that if I did, of course, I would be in fucking jail. But because she's a liberal journalist, she's the most protected class in the entire world, and also a member of the tribe. So she literally can do no wrong. She can straight up murder a man on 5th Street and probably get away with it. I believe that her uncle had an association with the Internet Archive, however, that's disputed. They've disputed that, so I don't know if that's true. But during Drop Kiwi Farms, we got blacklisted. Now X is also blacklisted. Some minor Jeet news. I got the scoop from the Kumar exclusive. Always thankful for our boys in India reporting on Indian misdeeds, such as Kumar dick shit over here. He says, got a bombshell tip from a sharp insider. Ganesh Jayaram, the new chief information officer at American Airlines, wasted no time getting the tech workforce, shipping all tech jobs straight to Hyderabad, India. But he even set up his own outsourcing company to profit from the move. So he set up his own company to outsource Indian tech to American Airlines, and then subcontracted American Airlines' tech force to his own company as the CIO. How that's legal, I don't fucking know. But I assume that there's all sorts of other Jeets in the upper management of American Airlines that hammered this through. I like to call people would ask, why does Disney keep making bad, unprofitable movies? And I called this the liquidation of Americana. You have this hostile force that owns these companies that have tons and tons of name recognition and value in the brand. And it costs a lot of money to make good stuff. And then even then it's like a gamble, right? And if you're trying to make stuff to get money from people, you don't even really want to give them good stuff. You just want to give them easy slop, the easiest slop to make ever. So you hammer out a shitty script, maybe use AI to write it, and then you outsource 90% of the film to a foreign animation studio that does it for half the price of an American animation studio. And then you crunch them anyways so that they have to get done in a matter of months as opposed to however much time they may need to make a good product. And then you just dump this in the theaters and it has the name Indiana Jones or Star Wars or whatever the fuck. And then everyone's like, oh my God, I gotta go see a new Indiana Jones. There hasn't been a new Indiana Jones in 30 years. Oh my God, Harrison Ford's in it. I can't wait. And then you watch and it makes however many fucking $1 million. And if it doesn't make any money, it doesn't matter anyways because all the people that you hired for this got paid huge millions of dollars just for appearing in it. And that's how you liquidate a brand and the value of a company. And I feel like the Jeets are doing the same thing. They're just taking over American businesses and driving them to the fucking ground, and then they're exporting all their money to their Pajit friends. And American Airlines, of course, is now the Jeet Airlines. And it's sad to see. Speaking of Jeets, Neil Mahan is the Jeet and head in charge of YouTube. And he has been on the all-out offensive against ad blockers recently, and now he's stepped it up one more notch. If you've ever watched Netflix or other premium like streaming services like Tidal, you'll notice that you have to install something called Widevine, which is a DRM thing built by Google to make it so that it's very, very difficult to download media from the internet using conventional tools because it's encrypted, even on your device. So they install this third-party DRM that is completely closed source that you don't have access to so that it can do whatever the fuck it wants on your computer, and it's much harder for you to actually observe the media that you're streaming to your platform or alter it in any way. Well, Neil Mahan, the Jeet in charge of YouTube, decided, hey, since we can't beat the ad blockers, why don't we just implement a Widevine DRM policy across the entire fucking site? So now, all content across YouTube generated in the last 20 fucking years is going to be sent to your computer through Widevine, encrypted, so that you can't actually download videos anymore very easily. The YouTube DLP people are already aware of it, and they're working on like a fix, but as far as like my Molvad browser just can't use YouTube anymore. I use a VPN, I use a browser, I try to click a video, it doesn't load. That's because Neil Mahan, the Jeet in charge, decided that privacy browsers are a bad thing because they can't track if I'm downloading videos. So now any kind of privacy browser is blocked on YouTube, even though it's called YouTube, as in my tube, it's not. Creative Commons videos, that's being encrypted. Videos that people don't want to be prevented from being downloaded, those are being encrypted. Whatever the fuck, Vivo videos, of course, those are encrypted, but everything's going to be encrypted regardless of if the people consent to their videos being encrypted or if that is their intention. Because if you put a video up on YouTube and you want people to share it, but Neil Mahan wants to run ads on it, Neil Mahan says, hey, fuck you, white boy, we're not going to let you share your video through our platform unless you let us inject advertisements in front of the viewers. Hopefully, what happened to Susan will happen to Neil. Because I'm just sick of it. I'm sick of these people making everything worse all the fucking time. I really hope that something happens to kill YouTube, but it dominates. It's like, even if a competitor comes along, let's say that Rumble somehow manages to steal 80% of YouTube's traffic and content. It will never be able to regain the dearth of content. I don't know if dearth is the right word. I think that's the opposite of what I mean. The massive volume of historical content that's been on that site since evergreen videos. Dota 2, Chalankwa, and King Raven videos lost to time because the platform is dead and Rumble doesn't have that historic content. It will always have value because of how long it's been around. The Kiwi Farms is kind of the same thing, where it's like you can try to make a competitor to the Kiwi Farms, but we've had threads that have been on the site for more than 10 years. And it's like, that shit just doesn't exist, and you have to work very, very hard to try and steal all that shit that people have written and compile it into your own site. So it's a nightmare. I honestly I can't have more fucking contempt from Neil Mahan. This is the YouTube DL people trying to figure out what the fuck they're gonna do. So this is the first stream after National Women's Day, so I have some whammy topics to talk about, and I think I'll just put the regular FemHam straight up for this. Just because I haven't done that in a while, and it pisses people off, and honestly, at the end of the day, that's what really matters, chat. Give me a second to drink. I'm dehydrated. I have to make her a little bit bigger, I think. There we go. Okay. Let's see. Let's start with some good Troon news, I think. So, from my understanding, this person is very bad. A transgender OnlyFans adult content creator who has a cannibalism fetish was unanimously appointed to fill a vacant seat on the Linwood City Council in Washington State. Jessica Ann Roberts, 32, born Neil Vincent Roberts, has posted on social media about having an uncontrollable desire to impregnate women and eat them. So let's take a look. I'm curious. So this is the OnlyFans post. He has his dick guy. He says, if you want trans content, come check out my OF link. If you're looking for trans content, follow me. And he just looks absolutely fucking dreadful. Oh, he posted Vor. Awesome. Vor is perhaps the most mentally ill fetish in the world. Churning meat girl after meat girl, I've been fully disposed of my last meal is the best feeling. So he has, yeah, that's corpophilia. That's really gross. Seat in your pred's gut, that is so disgusting. So, because what he's saying is that discussion, what would you like to see in your pred's gut? It's not just cannibalism. Like, you say cannibalism, and you think of, like, the noble savage, the Native American roasting, like, a chunk of man, like, over a fire to eat him, like a Wendigo. This is probably a lot more vile than you can possibly imagine. I apologize if I'm being, like, gross, but I'm going to describe this in full. What would you like to see in your pred's gut? So he is saying that he wants to be a predator, and he's saying that he wants to eat women one after the other. And while they're partially digested and dissolved in his stomach, he wants to eat another girl so that when they're in the stomach, they're sitting within, imagine like a sewage sludge, but it's actually like dissolved human flesh and bone. That's what turns him on, is that idea of putting a woman in that situation inside of him for that purpose. And then in our impregnation, he says, the desire to be a breeding pet. I love the idea of grabbing a pretty girl and using her as a breeding pet, and once I've gotten her pregnant, sharing her with my fellow trans femmes. So this is the, forget his name, the breeding barn tranny. They're all obsessed over this. They just want to rape women and kill them and torture them, basically. He's now on a city council. You know, you can legitimately weed out dangerous people from positions of power by simply acknowledging that they're a tranny and refusing to have anything to do with them. I think if you did that, you would miss 0% of the time. What is your favorite pred to be eaten by, or what is your favorite type of prey? So he says, I've been thinking a lot about different preds that I like being eaten by. Some of mine are frog women, orc women, professors, and other anthro women. I don't know how a professor is the same as a frog and an orc, but okay. And the most important part, though, is making her belly big and being a good meal for her. Okay. So he likes eating women and, like, digesting them partially and then eating more. But he wants to be, like, swallowed whole by a frog. Okay. And I think he's, like, an obsession with big bellies, and that's part of his impregnation fetish. And he says, I'm a femme pred looking for femme prey. I have a teacher's school RP in mind where the discipline is being digested in front of class. Wow, that's so exciting, bro. So he has an obsession with teachers as well. I'm sure he'll be accepted to the Linwood, as principal to Linwood's high schools. at some point too, because otherwise that would just be transphobic to not accept them. Like, you kink shaming, you fucking transphobic piece of shit. That's fucking disgusting, bro. What she does in the privacy of her own home is none of your fucking business. I don't know if they got fired. The special meeting will move forward. Oh, my personal life and identity does not in any way affect my ability to do my job. However, I would decide to withdraw my appointment not because I'm unwilling to serve the people, but because the continued scrutiny of my personal life is a potential distraction from the council's forward progress. So then they're saying what the fuck to do about this. Alarming opinions. What? Murdering women is a alarming opinion? You fucking bigot. A spa in San Francisco is currently under fire by deranged. This is the president of Nintendo, by the way. Long-term super chatter. For introducing an extra special phallus-free ladies' night after their original ladies' night was overrun by AGP sex pests with their cocks out. So this is the two items in controversy. They have two ladies' night. They have inclusive women's night open to all individuals who identify as a woman, and then cultural and religious women's night designed to provide a space that aligns with the needs of women from religious or cultural backgrounds. And this is so smart that it was definitely a turf lady attorney that wrote this, because what they're saying, they didn't say biological women's night, because that would be heckin' discriminatory. Okay, in California you can't discriminate on that, but to accommodate women from Islam and other religions that practice gender segregation based on sex assigned at birth and other cultures, then it's like you know how they show those tectonic plates where one's like inductive and one's like subductive, and they have to, and that's how like one gets like thrust back into the crust and the other one makes a mountain. This is what's happening. We're having a meeting of tectonic plates of privilege, and like, which one is more privileged? Will the trannies prevail and become the mountain, or will they be submerged into the core of the earth and melted down to their elements? We will see, chat. However, I'm not a betting man, but I have a lot of riding on one of those options. Then there was a protest outside of the spa because, of course, there would be. Let's see. 223, he says. Oh, boy, let's just scan through this real quick. Trans women are. I love how R is in quotes, like it's a fucking, like it's, he's doing air quotes. Like, he doesn't understand that what he's literally writing with that is that they're not. Trans hate is no longer tolerated. Oh, actually, we're just getting fucking started. Banya will ban you. Boycott Banya. Trans women are women. Look at these fucking, look at these freaks. Look at these freaks. Oh my god, look at him, bro. This guy is literally standing in front of a fucking spa with a sign that he made in Crayola magic marker, protesting the fact he can't whip his dick out in front of people that don't want to see his dick. Forget everything else. Everything else, whatever the fuck, that identity or culture or religion, the premise of this is that there is a group of people who do not want to see his cock and balls, that he insists he has a fucking human right to show his cock and balls to without repercussion. That is what he's protesting. Actually, see them, I just get like a knot in my stomach. It makes my oysters angry. You got this fucking Han over here. Unga bunga, me want show flabby small cock to women. Unga bunga. And then you got these fucking retards over here. That's a pooner. Look at him. Oh, look at that little dude on the left. He's such a big man. He's such a big man. Not completely and totally dwarfed by that ogre Han tranny right next to him. He's just such a little guy. Standing up for him. He's standing up for himself. He's gonna defend human life just like a man would. Okay, let's see this 223 part.
Some nights won't fly.
Offer them to us.
Oh my god, he has autism voice too.
Fly, and we're just saying that it won't fly. It won't fly. What if that transit nights won't fly?
So the real meaning of Hoppo Dobby is this fifth pillow says twin white. Only I can have this.
Offer them to us every day. We're not any different than the other individuals.
Dakota Rose Austin says the controversy at the spa seems to be just another example of what she says is an increase in anti-trans policies across the country.
As Latinos, as trans, as queer, as African American, the fear is turned now. If you've weaponized DEI and affirmative action and all these other things that were in benefit of everyone in America, and you've weaponized them against us, now I'm in fear.
Nobody cares, bro. I wonder why he's in fear, by the way. Could it be the fact that he's a convicted sex offender? Pretty sure that's where this is going. Dakota Austin, female, 5'7", 155 pounds, brown, black, rape by force or fear. So they just so happen that this innocent trans folks standing up for trans rights and really the rights of everybody, because if you're against trans rights, you're against women's rights, just so happen to be a convicted rapist, you know. As it happens, it just happens, bro. You know, you take 1 out of 4 protesters at any rally and you're going to get a rapist. Come on. A consent accident. That's right. We don't say rape anymore. Rape is gender non-conforming. We say consent accident. Who died? Okay, this guy. Effican Culture. Is that really is his name really Effican Culture? Is that like a fake name? He's Turkish. Okay, so what sounds like a joke name is actually a real name in Turkey. I can't tell if this is a man or a woman. His native. That's crazy. So he ate himself to death in Turkey. I didn't even know Turkey had that much food. If you're that guy, I think his name is literally Nola's Built for BBC on the Kiwi Farms, but he's Turkish. He's like a Turkish Christian who insists that in the immediate future, Turkey will be a Christian country. And he's like John the Baptist. He's going to like spread the word of Jesus across Turkey and convert the Ottoman Empire to fucking Christianity. Like he's trying to be like an orthobro Ottoman player in EU4. He's going to figure this shit out. And then, but that guy in particular, he is negatively impacted by the existence of this fat mukbang content because the Turkish lira is not doing too well, and I have an idea of why. And I think it's because all of their money is being spent to feed this entity. However, now we can recover. Turkey can recover because their source of mass consumption has fucking exploded. Canned grape leaves, great choice. If you've never had these, there is a Greek food invented by the Greeks, the white Greeks, called dolmas, and they are wine leaves around rice and olive oil, and they are excellent. They are quintessential gastronomy. I do have them. If you have the opportunity and you haven't, I can see why he exploded eating them. Video since the final mukbang, bedridden and undergoing treatment. In his final post, Culture shared a photo of himself with the caretakers, including his mother, writing "Family Worship" in the caption. The streamer's mother died last year. His eyes forced closed due to the excessive weight on his face. The government of Turkey has warned taking the high-profile death as an opportunity to warn youngsters about the dangers of mukbang videos. Turkey Today reported. That is funny. Oh well, don't eat yourself to death, chat. Grape leaves taste like ass. I'm sorry that you have the palate of a fucking 5-year-old. Hey, Dragoons. After today, we're gonna go to McDonald's, bro. Today's pizza day. We're going to McDonald's. I'm gonna get you some chicken nuggies. I'm gonna get you some chicken nuggies and a Coca-Cola, and you don't ever have to eat grape leaves, okay? Oh, this is a good one. Okay, so Bex Gerber, who I for sure 100% did a person stream on, is in the Kiwi Farms limelight today because she's very ugly, so it's hard to tell at a glance what she is. If you don't remember, I think she's like white but pretends to be Hispanic, and then also like Cuban, and then also pretends to be Jewish. And she found a super leftist Jewish community willing to say she converted. Like according to the Jews, I've been informed that like generally there's two sects of or three really. There's like the Orthodox Jews, then you have like the Hasidic Jews that are like ultra Orthodox, I remember correctly. And then you have the Reform Jews, and like Ethan Klein is a Reform Jew. He doesn't wear his kippah or whatever, whereas Ben Shapiro is probably Orthodox because he does wear the kippah. So that's how it breaks down. However, much like how there's ultra Orthodox, there's also ultra Reform, where they're basically open to whatever fucking degenerate freak is interested in becoming Jewish. And that's what Bex Gerber found and aligned herself with. She's in a polycule with two men and has been for a very long time. From my understanding, after she got fired from Riot Games, in case you're wondering, she was a writer for Riot Games. I recommend you go check out the stream I did on her. And she never got another job again, I want to say. So she, despite being the most like epitomized version of BPD you could possibly imagine, she managed to get 2 beta simp beta orbiters to give her an infinite money and bankroll her. Truly a Women's Day representative of all time. However, one of them has departed for reasons unknown. But she's freaking out about it, and she did IVF. Now here's the really like fucked up story about this. This is how much she loves tormenting her beta buck simp orbiters. Ready? She is a woman, a natal woman who has reproductive organs that function. She has a vagina. It works. She has 2 men that she's in a relationship with, and at a certain point, she decided that actually she's asexual. So they were in a sexless polycule with her. And at some point during her asexual phase, I guess to see if she could extra torment everybody in her polycule, she decided that she would do IVF to get pregnant. Not because she couldn't get pregnant normally. Not because she can't have sex. But because she randomly decided she doesn't want to have sex anymore, but does want to have a child. So she extracted the seed of one of these betas. I don't know who. Maybe even might be a sperm donor, because fuck them. And she impregnated herself by a syringe in a laboratory. And then she had a baby. And this is, unfortunately, this is where it gets kind of tragic. Okay, I'm going to scroll down. If you have a thing where it's like you get super sensitive about kids, trigger warning for those of you who are sensitive to child-related topics, turn away at this moment. Bex has just been fucking freaking the fuck out on Blue Sky. I'm not even gonna read all this fucking nonsense bullshit. Like, just complaining. Taking today to play video games. No chores, no child minding, no sex with the menfolk, nothing. I sit in my office, play video games, drink a whole pot of tea, smoke several joints, and ignore every damn man in my house. And if they know what's good for them, they'll ignore me right back. And then vague person about the breakup. If you decide to embark on a polyamorous relationship, it's really important to realize that breakups change people. Promises mean nothing. Do not trust your financial future by pinning it on someone you're with no legal connection to. It's too easy to have that taken away. Duh. Wow. Don't enter into informal sexual relationships with random men who owe you fucking nothing ever. Wow, that's a fascinating take. Good one, Bex. I'm surprised it took you 40 fucking years to figure that one out. If you break my confidence, we're no longer friends. If you break my confidence by betraying me to someone actively harming me, you're my enemy. And trying to speak to me again isn't the best idea for your continued health. So this fat, retarded stoner lounging around, too buck broken by her own mentals to even do it like a dishes or to feed themselves or whatever. Don't you dare mess with me. Bad for your health. Pretty fucking tired of being helped by being pushed so far outside my comfort zone. I started avoiding my partners out of self-preservation. So literally, after she had a child, which I can only imagine is the most stressful thing of your entire fucking life. Imagine how much your life changes after you have a child. It's like, how often do they wake up? Every 2 fucking hours to eat? So she has a child by choice. It wasn't an accident. It wasn't thrust upon her. Nobody in her family died that she has to take care of it. She then enters a postpartum phase where she's supposed to be waking up every 2 hours. And she has 2 men to help her take care of this child. And what does she do? She sequesters herself off into a goon dungeon, and she smokes a bunch of dank ganja herb and plays video games, probably League of Legends. So this is who you're playing with when you get heel slutted in League of Legends, and does nothing for childcare. So what possibly then could be the consequences of that? I hate to show this, but she posted on social media, so I don't know. Here's her hanging. Oh, by the way, there's a post where she says that the baby, who's like a year old now, mimics her coughing. Like when she hits the bong, apparently she hits the bong right in front of the child so continuously that the baby has started like pantomiming hitting a bong and coughing when she does it. So that's pretty fucking dire. There's a picture down here. Okay, this is it. Now this is what will piss people off a lot. You can see that the baby has a very unusual shaped head. There's a name for this. It is called brachycephaly, and it is the result of laying a baby down on a flat surface and not doing what's called tummy time, as I learned. Tummy time is very important for babies because when they're born, they have no neck muscles. They can't lift their head. So if you carry a newborn, you have to make sure that you carry its head in a very specific way so that it doesn't get whiplash from just moving around, because they can do that because they don't have neck muscles. So it's very important that you put a baby on its tummy every so often so that it lifts its head up, and it will have a very wobbly head, like a little bobblehead, because it's building neck muscles so that it can actually start to walk and move around on its own, which obviously infants can't do. If you're a bad parent, a very bad parent, you don't do that. You keep baby on his back, and his head is always on the floor. And because his head, like the smallest part of a baby once born is its head compared to what size it develops to later on, because it has to be pushed to the birth canal. And if you have a baby with a big ass fucking head, it's going to split your woman in half, right? So baby comes out, it's got a very tiny head. First couple months, baby's head explodes in size. It like gets massive. And that is why if you lay a baby on its back, its head is growing so fast like a bamboo shoot that it will actually conform to the shape of the floor it's laying on if it's not getting any tummy time. So what you're seeing is the result of a woman laying a baby on its back and smoking weed and hiding in a room and ignoring it for all the time. Because that is, without exaggeration, the worst flathead I've ever seen in any infant ever. I have never seen across the Kiwi farms in the 10 years of doing this, I've never seen a picture of a baby that has a head that is so obviously the result of negligence. And like you can like compare it to the worst of the worst. This is the severe. This is so severe it causes brain damage. The baby will be delayed. It will have issues because its brain has been misshapen by its skull developing. And I mean I would say that this is probably like moderate to severe, because just going off this picture, it does kind of shape back just a little bit. What he has or she has is like it's concave in its shape, but it's hard to tell because of this picture. It would have to go to a doctor, obviously, to make a determination how bad it is or if it's going to have brain damage as a result. But it's pretty fucking bad. Just look. You don't need to know anything. You can look at the baby and say there's something wrong. So it's just crazy. And you know what the kicker is? You know what the actual fucking kicker is? Bex Gerber, when you incorporate a 501c3 or a 501c4, you need a C-class corporation that has 3 members on its board. That is a mandatory part of the IRS requirements for a nonprofit organization. You need 3 people on a nonprofit's board. So with the foundation, I got Matthew Harden, I got myself, and I got Kevin Crawley, who I haven't formally introduced yet, but when the foundation gets started, I will introduce him. I mentioned that Liz Fong Jones started a 501c3 called Murder Kiwi Farms or some shit, and of course that's just a tax sink. Liz Fong Jones takes his money, he donates it to his own 501c3. That money is tax deductible for him, and then he can use that tax-free money to attack the Kiwi Farms and its infrastructure and its providers and its hosts and the families of those people and so on and so forth. That's he's been doing. So Liz Fong Jones needed to create a go team of anti-Kiwi Farms people willing to put their name on a board, and guess who one of those is? Bex the stoner, sitting in a room crying that she has no money because her beta buck simp orbiter has left the orbit, while the child is apparently growing into the fucking floor behind her. That is one of the people who have created the Anti-Kiwi Farms Coalition that I have to watch out for. That's who Liz Fong Jones voluntarily associates with. And what's really, really funny is that sorry, I got a message from Hardin, and unrelated to this. I'm working on a little fun project on the side that I'll get to talk about in probably a few weeks. Liz Fong Jones is a self-professed multimillionaire who makes wealth building one of his hobbies. Like, he talks about, like, yeah, I love fucking making money, bro. So he's got like millions in stocks, millions in crypto probably, and Bex Gerber can't afford to pay rent, but she sits on his board as like his second in command, and she doesn't get paid enough to like take care of herself. That's what her allegiance to the cult of trans has earned her. Isn't that funny? Ain't that some shit, chat? Ain't that some shit? Next, hopefully onto some happier topics. Tommy Tudor. Tommy Tudor has invited everybody to a house party. I don't know if this has already happened yet. Oh, this was for the weekend party. Okay. Oh, parties. So every weekend. So this is this weekend. If you happen to be in, I think he's in Arizona, I want to say. He says, greeting folks. Hippie Haven is coming together bit by bit and is now ready to receive people seeking a spiritual oasis. I am a hereditary Hebrew high priestess. I didn't realize that Tommy was also like a Jewish convert. What is with the fascination of crazy low intelligence people converting to Judaism? You had Melinda, you had Bex, and now you have Tommy Tudor. Bro, the Jewish gene pool. This is the Goyim's 1,000-year plan. We are going to send our dumbest retard trannies and crazy people into the Jewish community to have Jewish babies, and then we're going to send their babies to Israel right of return, and the Jewish gene pool will be completely obliterated. That 109 IQ points they talk about, how they're so much smarter than us goy, that shit's about to be fucking taken down a peg. once the Bex Gerber lineage is infiltrating Tel Aviv, you don't stand a fucking chance. Lucky, crazy Tommy Tudor, the whistleblower, faithful servant of Lord Yahweh, the merciful one, and guided by Kokopelli, the water sprinkler, living in his domain in Arizona. I was right. My spiritual practice is a blend of Reformed tradition, Reformed tradition, Torah, Judaism, and Lakota medicine. Dude, maybe that Smith guy, Joseph Smith, maybe he was on to something. Maybe the Jews really were the Native Americans in the United States. As taught by Chief Leonard Crow Dog, spiritual chief of the American Indian movement, an unorthodox Jew, I am omnistic and welcome to the performance of any love-based creed ceremony in my home, office, factory, and farm. If you are a Jew, if you're a guy that wears a kippah and goes to synagogue, goes to temple every Saturday, Shabbat Shalom, or you're a woman that does the same shit, and you're like an actual practicing Jew, I would love to know your actual opinion on this post. Just send me an email. Say shalom. It says botanical. Wait, no, I'm an omnistic and welcome to I heard that. Botanical psychotropes and alcohol taken ceremonial fire water. Okay. Drunkenness, geeking, and tweaking are not. So don't get too fucked up. Firearms are not welcome on the property. The house and yard can accommodate 10 comfortably. Bring your own chair. He doesn't even have a fold-out chair for you. And there's plenty of room to overflow outside the gate. There will be drumming. Oh, you've seen Tommy Tudor's drumming if you watch the stream on him. And potluck every Friday at sunset to welcome the Sabbath. On Saturdays, we will hold an acoustic jam. Acoustic. Oh no, my child's acoustic. Where I will teach some basic music theory, woodwind, and percussion performance. You can learn from him. We will consecrate the perpetual yard sale church of fun on my 10th anniversary. It's like a proper fucking meme. Some TikTok or some Zitter Slop channel needs to take those posts and post it on their fucking X account. They'll get like 100,000 views. Anybody who wants to share their knowledge of music theory or other... Oh, wait, no, I heard that. There are plenty of candles and incenses for people to light anytime they'd welcome to come and pray. We got a broadcast studio, Wi-Fi, and Ethernet. Hippie Haven has a full kitchen ready for anyone to whip up their favorite anything. and a jewelry shop, in addition to our inventory of artisanally mined gem crystals and high-grade cutting rough. Hope to see you soon. If that sounds like your spot, Tommy's got you. You got everything. You got music. You got incense. Yeah, I said that right. Okay. That's a danger word. You got to be careful when you pronounce that when you're a mushmouth retard like me. You got Judaism. You got Lakota firewater. You got everything you could ask for. What we don't got, a chair. Make sure you bring your own because Tommy ain't got the seating. He is a highly regarded acoustic. That's right. Okay, very, very short. Short fat otaku, if you don't know, is the fattest, grossest retard tranny chaser in the entire world. Literally cannot get enough Lilith Lovett dick in his mouth and ass. Says that he's heckin' straight, though, and is married. Though I've seen him and his wife argue on stream because she knows that he's a disgusting tranny chaser, but for some reason she doesn't have the self-worth to get the fuck out of a relationship with a man who obviously wants to fuck men in dresses, and you should be insulted that a man who wants to fuck men in the asshole while they are dressed as a woman is also in a relationship with you, because that kind of implies that you look like a frumpy dude he can fuck in the ass. But yeah, supposedly straight, supposedly just friends with Lilith Lovett, but cannot get enough tranny cock. He's been banned, and he's apparently lied about why he's been banned. He says that was because he called somebody a faggot. But you can see that's not true, because this appears to be an old. Yeah, he's just flat out lying. It says short fat otaku, and then says sleepy devo. It's a different account, unless he's like posting this on his other account or something. Like Sleepy Devo is his tranny chasing account, and this is like his professional account, and he's like reposting this. But they said it was actually for violent content. So apparently he got so angry about people calling him a disgusting tranny chaser that he reported that he made violent threats. He whipped out his Desert Eagle at them in their face, and then on the internet, of course, and then got reported for it. He's already back. Oh well, he'll fuck up again. Okay, I've talked about the Tunnel Girl before. Tunnel Girl, that's in euphemism. Basically, this is an autistic tranny that's just obsessed with digging a hole in his basement, and the city shut him down. But now he's somehow gotten a permit to dig an infinitely long tunnel in his basement. I mean, I would not trust a tranny to build a secret compartment in his basement, because that's obviously going to be used to like hide like sex slaves that he's kidnapped off the street. So I don't know why they're permitting this, but apparently he looks really bad in the interview, so I kind of want to see that. Is this the video? What the fuck is this? Is this like auto-playing video that's just been playing the entire fucking time? Yeah, it sure is.
This is a little different. Remember these videos we showed you last year? A Northern Virginia woman went viral on TikTok for building a tunnel under her home. Last year, Katie Lusso has been pressing her for an update.
Pressing and pressing and pressing. And tonight, we've got one. This project can finally move forward, and it's a conversation and a story.
Why are they cheering this on?
USA 9.
Why are they cheering this training on? Yes, completely unlicensed tunnel digging throughout a fucking suburban community. Yes, finally. Tunnel Girl, the science girl, she can go ahead with her unmitigated fucking disaster. What are they gonna say when a road collapses in and somebody fucking dies because their SUV with all their children falls into a fucking pit? What are they gonna do? Are they gonna say, oh, maybe we shouldn't have supported this? No, of course not.
This is a sub-basement.
This is Kala.
I built this around 10 years ago.
Showing us her basement.
Damn, that's ugly.
You may recognize her as...
It's your girl, Kala. Sometimes Kala, the science girl, based off of Bill Nye.
Bro, why do they talk like this? This is like the voice you hear like when you're in the rape dungeon. It's just like, I built, like, you're like chained to a wall. Like he's like affixed like an iron like leash to the stone wall and hewed it in with like 12-inch bolts. And then it's like, I built this womb for my sex dungeon 10 years ago. It was the ultimate goal. Stone is a really good sound absorber, so even though you're 3 feet under a public road, nobody can hear you scream. And on the other end, I have padding, so the sound won't carry outside the tunnel. As a matter of my ecological movements, I cut off the whites. So from 6 p.m. to noon, the tunnel will be completely dark, and no light gets out here, because if I put a white hole, then the sound could also get out. So okay, with the science girl, and this is just your rape dungeon. I have thrown a blanket on the floor. I'll be back in 4 hours to feed you.
The science guy.
That is, if you're one of the more than 600,000 followers she has on TikTok, a following she grew by digging.
We have all this.
Literally. She took us inside the tunnel she's been building under her Northern Virginia home since 2022.
It goes about 30 feet down the first tunnel.
But in 2024, after people complained, she had to stop.
They did give me a stop work order and are requiring an immediate evaluation by a professional engineer.
Well, she didn't give up, and last week she got these.
These are the approved building plans.
She says the town approved her plans to build a tunnel. Why a tunnel?
Because it is the most challenging and complex project that you can do. There's a lot of mathematics, there's a lot of engineering.
Which, by the way, her day job is in computer sciences.
Oh my God.
Is her passion. Right now, her permit only allows for the tunnel she's built so far, but she has hopes to expand.
My goal would be to go outside of the boundary of the house in the backyard and then just build like a little shelter.
Is it
a shelter?
That you want to build?
A shelter.
Not at all, just
Dude.
for fun.
While she's receiving
Just for fun. I'm going to do recreational activities in my fun little basement that is 3 yards from any outlet to the outside world. It has to be 3 yards. See, I'm Kayla, the science girl, and I found out that if you build it in this way, when you do like an L-shaped tunnel, you can put enough soundproofing so that the sound of a human scream will only be negative 70 decibel by the time it gets out to the basement, and then nobody can hear it. Even if the police were inside my house, they will not hear the screams. I've mathematically calculated all this out, so my rape dungeon is the best rape dungeon, and that's really my passion. Yeah, fuck that shit. Fuck that town too. Fuck you. Anyone who approved this shit is a fucking monster. You know what's happening in this shit. And by the way, this shit's coming out in 15 fucking years, and there's gonna be incest babies in it. And you can message me, of course. By that time, I will be in jail, so you have to be writing me a letter, because the new Democratic government will charge me for crimes against the United States and for goodliness. And then you have to write me in jail and say, by the way, you're right. The Kayla the Tunnel Tranny definitely super mega raped somebody for 15 fucking years and their children. So now there's like incest babies. You gotta let me know when this happens, chat. Okay, next. Amberlynn Reed. Becky broke up with Amberlynn many years ago at this point. But her channel has always survived off little drip feeds of content and drama and hot goss about Amberlynn. So this is something that people literally begged me to play on my stream. But of course I was going to do it anyways. So this is going to be a little update about how... I'll just let it play.
Before I started wiping her, she would use washcloths to wipe. She would set them on the corner of the sink, and then she would turn herself around to wipe herself on it. And then she would throw them away. Our roommates started to notice that their late mother's washcloths were disappearing. And they confronted her about it, and she wanted me to lie to them for her, but I didn't. She ended up buying more washcloths for herself, and instead of throwing them away, she had me wash them in the sink and then put them in the washer. Wiping ended up being the lesser of two evils at the time.
Were there pictures that I missed? Oh yeah, it's just visual assessment. So just to summarize that, Amberlynn's so fat she can't wipe herself. So what she would do is she put a cloth on like the corner of the sink, and then rub her beehole like up against it, like bottling. And then Becky would have to wash the poo-poo cloth in the sink before it was put into the falls out of the avatar of Becky. Yeah, the avatar of Becky is a little bit generous, but that's how. If you're ever wondering how Amberlynn has wiped her own ass, that's apparently how she does it. That's why we call her sorry, they already broke up. We call her Wipey because she's a nurse, and she wiped her ass. Apparently, Chantel has a special message just for me. Let's see what this says.
Hope and Sneed.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Maybe I can develop a AI voice synthesizer and automatically read my super chats as Chantel. That would save me a lot of energy, chat. I don't know if the audience would appreciate such efforts, though. Okay. So that's it for the Whammon Day, I think. After this, I got proper lolcow content, and I got the bullshit sector drama. It's probably going to be a long stream. I just kind of feel it. Okay. So, let's start with this, actually. This is takedown page. You'd be wondering, Josh, where the content, boy? Where the content? Well, there's a funny story to this. Really funny. It's absolutely hilarious, actually. Many years ago, when Gamergate just started, so literally as far back as like 2014, I think, there was a guy in England called Samuel Collingwood Smith. He's still around, actually. He exists, unfortunately. I always described the progression of difficulties the Kiwi Farms has had in supporting itself and moving forward has always been kind of linear, like a video game, like in Pokemon. You go to each gym, and each gym is like 10 levels above the last, so it's only like you have enough time to get ready for it. Like, you don't get cockblocked by Giovanni's team after you beat Brock or something, right? You have like a linear progression. And I always described that the Kiwi Farms has had adversaries of a linear progression of competence. And when Sam first started fucking with us, he was basically just trying to be scary and threatening. And then he tried to like learn how to do technical complaints that eventually Liz Fong Jones would do. But because he started doing that kind of stuff, I had a lot of experience in mitigating it before Liz Fong Jones came around. He also went after my family. So when people went after my family, it's like, well, that's already been done before. So everything, like he went hard for years and years and years and never accomplished what he set out to do. And in the process, gave me a lot of valuable hands-on experience in dealing with deplatforming. But he's always been a menace. He's always been, in particular, obsessed with hating women. Like, not hating women like a misogynistic way. It is kind of misogynistic, but it's mostly that he knows it's much easier for him to scare women. So he'll always pick, if he has the option of picking a man or a woman, he'll always pick a woman. And that's been his modus operandi for like his entire life. When he was like a 30-year-old man in the first decade of the 21st century, he would post on Evanescence fan forums and try to intimidate 16-year-old girls into silence so that he could be a moderator on their fucking forums. Like, that's how he got started. Then when he got to me, he didn't go after me. He went after every woman in my family. So that kind of shit. And then, of course, after he basically gave up on the Kiwi Farms, what did he do? He went after women who would talk about the Kiwi Farms. He would go after women who the Kiwi Farms spoke positively of. So just an obsession with trying to hurt women. And probably because he's like an incel. When he first started fucking with us, we found like his dating profile. It was like OkCupid or some shit. And he was like 40 at that point, and his dating profile was like, I'm looking for a woman between the ages of like 18 and 60. Like, it was this massive range where it's like, I will fuck anything with a pulse. Anyone who can tolerate my abhorrent presence in their life, I will put my dick in, because I just can't. I have no options. So that probably is a reason why. So he's been involved in litigation, and because the UK is a batshit insane backwards country, if you're not an attorney, which Matthew or Sam will never be, because in the UK you have to be apprenticed to be an attorney, and nobody's going to apprentice him because he's a giant piece of shit and nobody can stand to be around him. He acts as a McKinsey friend to random people. So he's been acting as a McKinsey friend to like a deranged sex pest tranny, and then He made defamatory statements, and he's getting sued for that in the UK. He basically does everything he can be to be a blight in the society. And from my understanding, he's on welfare. So he lives in like a Council Bluffs housing in Hertfordshire, which is a giant shithole from my understanding as well. And the government supports him, and he uses that government support to give pro bono legal advice as a non-attorney to people who are just absolute menaces, because that's what he enjoys doing. Apparently, he has finally fucked with somebody in the UK, or with power in the UK, and the money and resources to go after him. And his website, which effectively is just like a SEO poisoning site, it's basically just a blog where he says like, oh, so-and-so may be a pedophile. I've heard that they like to rape little babies. Now, of course, yours truly, your reporter cannot do but so much. But the credible accusations I've heard is that they're a little pedophile who loves raping children in their ass. And then that's like what, and then he like shows up, like puts up pictures of people and writes pedophile on them so that it shows up in Google Images. Like that's his entire thing. He's been doing that for 20 years now. And he's occasionally run into legal trouble for it. But this person apparently has not playing around and has actually just yanked his entire fucking site through court order. So that is Sammy. He lives in a prison of his own design. Hell cannot be hot enough for him. And his entire life is stayed and spite so that he can avoid burning in hell for all eternity, basically. It's very nice to see bad things happening to bad people, is my point. Next, this is Ayala, who is a real Jew, and I think Mexican. I think she lives in the U.S. though. She is most known for organizing a gangbang that had like 400 applicants, and then she made like a visualization of the process. Like she received like 1,000 applicants, and then she approved like 200 of them, and then so this many chickened out at the last second, this many showed up and then couldn't get it up or whatever. Like she like did like a flow chart from like number of applicants to number of people who actually ejaculated inside of her. And this like OnlyFans retard horror like gimmick bullshit is a exquisite nectar for low intelligence rage baiters on Zitter. If you ever see somebody on Zitter reposting a article that's like, oh my god, this OnlyFans girl had sex with 11 million men in one day. Like that person reposting that, number one, does not give a fuck about your attention. Number two, wants money from Zitter. And number three, is probably a retard. So, because they're basically doing free advertising for a prostitute. Ayala is effectively a locale though. There are locales who have OnlyFans. And in what she has done that has caught at least my attention is that she wrote like a memoir that she distributed amongst her friends, and she specifically mentions like in her memoirs that she printed out for her friends, which apparently this one is like the nicest things people have ever said to her, and then the black one is like the meanest things people have ever said to her. And this is like from the nice one, you make a difference that you show people they're not alone. And then from the meanest ones, it's like a collection of tweets. And then just saying, I can recognize that Quattrocento font from across the fucking continent. This is a Kiwi Farms post. It says, Al will describe the most unappealing scenario you've ever heard of, and then conclude, it was amazing, I swear, and it always sounds like cope. Her boyfriend anecdotes that make it clear that she has never been loved by anyone, and she is trying so hard to glamorize it. It takes a severe case of porn-induced brain damage for someone to get off on their partner having sex with others, which cucks who date her obviously have. The reason why guys arranging their friends to fuck their wives and GFs is a thing in her extended friend group is because they're all sex workers and desperate coomers. So she literally saved this and then even like modified it for form, because the way that the images are at the bottom, those are like emojis. So she like edited this to like form factor into her book better. And then it's, oh, you know why? Because if you copy paste this, you're not going to copy those images because they're like a background image or something. So she couldn't copy paste it. So she just like inserted emojis into it at the end. But she had to make sure that we knew that Beats for Boroshenko, who, if I remember correctly, that's Poroshenko. That's the previous president of Ukraine. There's another post by there. So this is by Tiny Pickles and Melty. This insane person, this prostitute, literally took content from the Kiwi Farms and printed it into a book, which I think is a violation of my copyright. I'm gonna be quite honest with you. I didn't give her permission to print this shit in her fucking dumbass book. I think I'm owed. I think that's 2 instances of copyright theft. I feel like this owes me $300,000. Chat. I feel like that's how it works these days. Imagine keeping a book of L's. Right is in the book of L's. It's also a tacit admission that she reads her thread. Okay, so this is the other thing. I only talked about this lady because Medicare did like an entire stream on her. I guess Medicare is watching TikTok now. That's how bad it is in the anime kingdom. But her name is Tophiachu, and there's no relation to Sonic Chu. She just goes by Tophiachu, and then by proxy renamed her entire family as like Mama Chu and Brother Chu and Dada Chu. Is it Tapioca Chu? I thought it was Tophiachu. It is Tophiachu, not Tapioca Chu. Come on now. So she's just like this like chronic grifter, fat black woman that lives in her car. And she constantly begs for money and says that she can't afford rent and she lives in like different hotels and she's just like a lolcow on TikTok. Well, she lived in Albuquerque, New Mexico, and apparently her family was like the victim because she lives in her car. Her family was like a victim of a carjacking, and in the carjacking, her mother was Mama Chu was fatally wounded with a gunshot. And then her brother Chu was also critically injured by another gunshot. I think he's still in critical condition. I don't know if he's died yet. So, let's see. This is the investigation of the carjacking. However, everybody was very surprised that the news came out and where's the mugshot of the person? Is this it? Sorry, I didn't have this one pulled up. I guess I'm not going to find this because it's just people from the front page shit posting in the fucking thread. Oh my god, is that her car? Dude, imagine how down bad you have to be as a carjacker to be like, ah shit, I need this car right now, and you kill people over it. Like, you're not gonna get the fuck away in that car. There's no way. This ain't Grand Theft Auto where you can pull into like a spray and pay, or pay and spray, and like change the color. Like, that's the most recognizable car. Yeah, we're looking for like a glitter nightmare. It's like a rainbow of like pastel colors, or not even pastels, just like bright colors splattered on this fucking white car. I think you would get pulled over like 2 blocks away after the call is made. I can't find the carjacker in a second. I'm just gonna. Is that it? No. That's Tophiachu, by the way, in case you were wondering. The most mudded looking woman to ever fucking live. Is that it? Is that her mom? That explains the modification. Damn. That gene. This is why I don't get too mad about miscegenation, because it's always people like this, and they create offspring like this. It's like, how do you get... Like, this is just improving things. This is the opposite of the Jewish situation that I discussed about. Imagine the smell. I'd rather not. Okay, I'm just going to spoil it. The carjacker is apparently like a white crackhead. So everybody expected that this would be a black person. And it's not. When people are posting their entire fucking life stories in this thread. I'm just trying to find a fucking picture of the carjacker. And it's all just people talking and no pictures of the fucking carjacker. And there's really not too much you can do about that, chat. So I guess you're never going to know. You'll literally never know. Next, Butt Crack Man. This is a very old story. This predates my podcast. This guy went around at D&D games, and he took pictures of himself kneeling next to fat men playing D&D who had their ass cracks out because they are so fat and their pants don't fit no mo. And he would take pictures like this, and this actually got him banned from all like official tournaments managed by Wizards of the Coast because it was such an embarrassment to the people that apparently players were afraid to go because they ass crack might get posted on the internet. So he did this and got banned, and now apparently he is a wrestler. Says, I team up, that would be the end of all y'all motherfuckers. I love Big Pound more than life itself, from Gia Miller. Which it just goes to show you that if you're funny, yeah, you can punch way above your league. Because what the fuck? Wrestling Revolver says, yes, that's really him. The man known simply as Big Pound, who wrestled in this past Thursday's Revolver Sorrow, is infamously viral Magic the Gathering butt crack bandit. And on that note, a reason why I show you this is so that I can selfishly introduce the next thing I want to show you, which of course is a performance by another wrestler, another independent circuit wrestler. She can sing wonderfully, chat, and I think that you all are craving more of this content. Josh's ringtone. See, this is why I was late today, chat. I decided I would set this beautiful song as my phone alarm. And then, of course, the kicks on, and I'm just like, I'm still sleeping because it's just so awesome. Such a great song that it's like, I can sleep to this and just power through this one. Not very effective. Actually, if you want to know the truth, let me find it real quick. I do have a ringtone here. This is my actual alarm to wake me up. You ready?
Wake up, you need to make money. Yeah. We used to play pretend, give each other different names. We would be.
And it's a seamless loop. Loop. Watch this.
Move out of space, but now they're laughing at the face, saying, wake up, you need to make money. Yeah.
Just will endlessly torment me until I get the fuck out of bed. Vibing. Yeah. Look, if you don't like that song, you suck. It's a great song. Okay, next. Oh, God. Okay, this is Russell Greer, so I have to be completely straight-faced about this. Let's see. So, I'll just read the post. I don't really have a Russell Greer impression, so. Today I stood on hallowed grounds. The remains of the two brothels demolished last November. A Christian group lied to Dennis Hoff's trustees and bought the property without disclosing they were anti-prostitution. If your religion teaches you it's okay to lie in your business dealings, to falsely obtain property just to destroy it, then fuck you and your religion. I had actually talked to said Christian group to try buying the property with investors to prevent the demolition. They refused to talk to me. As I said in the video, I will avenge you, Dennis Hoff. Wait, where's the video?
commandment of the lover himself. You know, you can be religious, I don't care, but if your religion feels it's a good idea to lie in your business deals, to get property, just to demolish it, then fuck you and fuck your religion. Okay? This is why I hate Christianity. Fuck Christians. God damn it. Wow.
I hate Christianity, but goddamn it.
I will avenge you, Dennis.
That is unreal. Imagine being out in the middle of a fucking desert at the scenes of a brothel, and you're literally shaking your hand up at the sky like, fuck you, God, I will avenge this prostitute, pimp, pornographer. I will avenge you, Denisov. Like, you've lost the plot, bro. Come on. In case you're wondering, the emotional significance of this was the first brothel he went to. This was the first prostitute he had an encounter with. And he literally says it's hallowed ground. He says that this is his version of faith. There is a God that exists specifically to spite him, and grounds where he nuts are hallowed. That's his faith. And honestly, I actually believe that. I feel like that's a pretty good summation of him. Okay, let's do this one too.
So right there used to be a brothel right there. It's called the Cherry Patch Ranch. Dennis Hoff had bought it in 2008. This is Appaloosa Lane in Crystal, Nevada. Now, if we drive down here, there used to be another brothel called the Love Ranch South. And as you'll see, they demolished that too. It was a group of Christian investors who bought the property in 2022. They lied about their intentions, and they demolished the property in November. It's extremely dishonest. Like, holy cow.
I mean, if you buy a property, you can do whatever the fuck you want with it. That's how property works. He thinks that there should be like a government mandate that not only should the government permit prostitution, but they should protect brothels. So you can't buy a business that you think is unsightly to a community, because that's the main issue here. Like, a lot of communities, they're very small and they don't want strip clubs. They don't want brothels. They don't want a bunch of horned up men coming in probably with drugs and alcohol, drunk driving, in a town of 1,000+ people to visit the whorehouse. And they don't want girls in their community put into the whorehouse. So they fight very hard to get those things out of their community. But he thinks that not only should there be a government license for brothels to exist to begin with, but there should be special government protections that prevent Christian groups from demolishing them to get them out of their community. So once they go up, they can never go down, basically. Crazy, literally crazy. One of the craziest things that he's done in a long time, because he's been busy. Cool. Next, Anisa has gotten hand tattoos. I think I showed the outlines of the hand tattoos last stream. Well, now they are colored in, and you can see they are quite beautiful. I just want to show you the colors, but I guess it's going to take forever. There you go. Perfect. Oh, man. Beautiful. Truly detailed. I love how the head, the top of the skull, looks exactly like a penis head. So she's gotten... I mean, it's just amazing. Just truly amazing. It looks so bad that it kind of reminds me of, like, an icon for a spell and, like, an early MMO. Like, if you were playing like a browser-based Flash game in the 2000s, and you had like a flaming skull magic attack, this would be the icon in the Flash game that you click to cast your flaming skull attack. Like, that's the level of artistry here. It's like, this is like you're building shit with gradients and shockwave. So she got that tattooed on her hand. No, she went to LA. Here's the story with Anisa, in case you don't know. iDubbbz looks disgusting. If you've seen a picture of him, he's got like the disgusting broccoli hair, the fucking mullet. He looks emaciated and depressed. He's on psychotropic medication. And supposedly, the reason why he looks like that is that Aniza is absolutely, totally, and completely obsessed with a tattoo artist in Los Angeles. And his art is fucking atrocious. It is the worst fucking tattoos I've ever seen, but supposedly it's like his brand. All of his tattoos look like this, and he charges thousands and thousands of dollars for the sleeves and shit that she gets from this guy. And suppose, if I remember correctly, iDubbbz looks like him now. So, like, she has skinwalked her boyfriend to look more like this tattoo artist that apparently wants nothing to do with her because he's not that fucking stupid. But she still drops in and pays him thousands of dollars to, I imagine, because it's like therapeutic for her to sit in the chair and have him work on a sleeve, you know, and he's like touching her skin and like brushing her with his hands while he like does it, and they're chit-chatting, and it's like a to get those sleeves done, it's like a 24 hours of tattoo time, right? It has to be done over days. So it's like 3 days of boyfriend time with a guy you're actually attracted to while he's like grooming your, like touching you and holding you the entire time. And I imagine that's why she spends thousands of dollars to get this shit done, because that's what she's into. So she gets these done, and people in the forum are laughing, obviously, and they're like, how bad, like, what's her next step in like this like complete crash out, like losing her fucking mind? Like, what is she gonna do next? And people have joked she's gonna get knuckle tattoos next. So she's getting shit on her hand, because like if you get in case you're wondering, the reason why you can't, it's a bad idea to get things on your hand, is that there are certain jobs that require you to look professional and not have RuneScape icons on your hands. Because you can wear a suit and cover up almost anything. So it's like anything above the neckline you don't want to have tattoos on, and anything on your hands you don't want to have tattoos on, because you can't even hide that by wearing a suit in a business meeting. So if you get tattoos on your hands or neck or face, you're basically telling the world, I'm a complete piece of shit. I have no ambitions. I don't ever want to be in a professional setting ever. So people joked, well, she's gonna get knuckle tattoos next, because that's the worst possible thing to get a tattoo on. And boom! She gets wine night. Like the night you drink wine, but night spelled wrong, so it's 4 letters. Wine night. Tattooed on her fucking knuckles, chat. Not an interesting idea. That's the thing. She's covered in tattoos. From like head to fucking toe. She is covered in tattoos. Every inch of her. And there's no rhyme or reason. It's not like she's trying to achieve some consistent look, or she's trying to honor certain things that she's excited about. Like, she's super hyped for her fucking creator class thing, but she has like no wrestling tattoos. She literally walks into this guy's tattoo office, and then she picks them off the wall. She picks designs that he's drawn on paper to demonstrate his artistic style, and she says, I want that one. And she gets that permanently inked into like all over her fucking body. And it's just, it's truly baffling. And people summate it in the thread as being a form of self-harm, that she's doing things to make herself look ugly all the fucking time. Like when she shaved her head and went around in like leather chaps for whatever fucking reason. And it's like, she's doing things to make herself ugly because it's like a form of self-harm at this point. It's just like, it's so fucking bad. Flash art. That's right. That's what it's called. That's right. You know what you're talking about. Got a tattoo guy over here talking about fucking art and shit. But maybe one day I'll get my Pikachu tattoo, chat. This is it. This is the final. This is it. This is the final. You can tell. By the way, I forgot about the other fucking icon. So there's almost no thematic consistency. I will give it credit. She seems to be going for like Jamaican colors, like red, green, and yellow are like Jamaican colors. Like you associate that with Rastafarianism. So she has like this Jamaican color scheme, Rastafarian color scheme. So that's consistent between them. And the star, it's not even the same star. Like if you look at the stars above the heart and the stars below the skull, they're different. Kind of. A little bit different. they're so close that at first glance I thought they were the same. I thought, oh, okay, at least that's a little bit consistent. But then they're a little bit different. So you look at it and you're like, wait a second. Even that's not consistent. Even that looks fucking bad. Why would you do it like this? So, since I've noticed it, in case you're wondering, Aniza is a Muslim. She professes to be Islamic. She is Lebanese. And if you don't know, Lebanon is an interesting history. Before... I think it was after World War II. I think there was like an Islamic revolution in Lebanon, or a civil war or something. And it basically killed the Christian population. The Lebanese mandate, when it was owned by France, was like 40% Muslim, 40% Christian, and then like 10% some weird ass fucking religion that neither recognizes. I think it's like based off Islam, but it's weird. I think it's called the Druza. And so Lebanon was like 40% Christian, 40% Muslim, and then 10% Druza, I think is what the minority religion was. And no, Zoroastrianism is Iran. So after the Civil War, I want to say they killed all the Christians, and then ISIS came through and like genuinely genocided the Druza. I want to say that like all the men were killed and all the women were raped and enslaved during the ISIS occupation. So now like the Druza minority is just like completely destroyed. But she's Lebanese. Her father was a Muslim, and her mother was a Roman Catholic Irish, which is an offensive pairing. And of course, a pairing like that creates people like Aniza Joma. And so she gets a Sacred Heart tattooed. If you don't know, that heart on the right hand is a symbol of Catholicism. It's a Catholic, I think it's specific to Catholicism, and I want to say it's the Sacred Heart of the Virgin Mary, because the Catholics really, this is, in case you don't know anything about like religion spurging, the contention, like people who are Protestant give Catholics a lot of shit, in part because I think they say that Mary was also perfect, like she was like the perfect vessel for Jesus, and she was a perpetual virgin, even though the Bible says that Jesus had brothers. They say that was allegorical brothers, and not like literal flesh and blood brothers. So Protestants give, and when I say brothers, I mean it was Mary and Joseph. He had like step siblings, basically. Allegedly. That's what this is debated. Don't yell at me. I don't care. I'm just outlining this. So the Catholics have like an idolatry thing for the Virgin Mary, and people give Catholics a lot of shit for that. And that's like the symbol for the Catholic Virgin Mary. So my point is that she's a Muslim, and she has gotten the Sacred Heart of the Virgin Mary tattooed on her hand for reasons unknown to me. Probably because she's mentally ill. I think we can leave it at that. Next, Johnny Somali. Johnny Somali is, of course, up in South Korea, and legal dick sucker, lives in Southeast Asia. Now, if you were to ask Ethan Ralph, this is for sex tourism. However, I don't know what he's truly doing up there. I think that would surprise some people. My understanding is that he was a real estate attorney in Florida, and then decided that Florida wasn't hot and shitty enough, so he moved to like Thailand or Vietnam or some shit, because he really wants things to be hot and shitty all the fucking time, and Florida just wasn't cutting it. So Legal Mindset went up to South Korea and observed or got transcripts from the court hearing, and he branded this, so you know it's from Legal Mindset. I don't know if he wrote this himself or this is like the official transcript, but judge asked him for, it was like really berating him. He's like, it says, state your current address in Korean. He says, it's Sangpa. I don't know the exact address. And the judge says, don't you know the building number and the apartment number? The defendant says, not off the top of my head because I don't speak Korean. The judge says, they're numbers. You can say them in English. You don't remember. So then he says the apartment number. Your nationality, United States of America. That's your nation, not your nationality. Says, okay, this is the process. This is the charges. The first count is for obstruction of business. On October 17th, at a convenience store in Mapagu, Seoul, The defendant engaged in behavior that obstructed the victim's business. Specifically, the defendant imposed himself on other customers, creating an unsafe and uncomfortable environment by playing loud music and unpleasant sounds and dancing inappropriately. When an elderly employee of the convenience store asked him to stop, the defendant responded by spilling cup ramen soup on the table and verbally abusing her with profanity. By carrying out those actions, the defendant intentionally disrupted the normal operations of the business. Yeah, I can imagine Korean people get pissed off about that. Korean people have like Confucius, and I want to say it's Taoism. There's a thing in Korea and China where they have like two equal components, where they have like Confucianism and I think Taoism, and they're kind of like the core facets of what makes up their cultural identity. And a huge part of that is ancestry honoring. So you're never, ever, ever mean to old people in those countries. If you want to get fucked up real bad, go to Korea or China and find an old person and disrespect them in public. That is a very, very fast way to get your ass in a lot of shit for a very long time. Legalism. Okay, the second count of the violation of the Minor Offenses Act, the defendant engaged in disruptive behavior by intentionally obstructing passersby in a bus and other public areas. Specifically, he approached numerous individuals who did not know him, brandishing a plastic bag containing a rotten fish, which he aggressively shook in their direction. Simultaneously, he loudly shouted at others in the vicinity, creating a disturbance. His actions caused anxiety and discomfort among those present, and the result of a series of menacing provocations without justifiable grounds. We need this shit in the U.S. If you're on public transit and you do something stupid, you should be in fucking jail indefinitely without bond until you learn your fucking lesson. Like we need this. Why do South Korean public transits, why are they so nice? Because if you wave a rotten fish around in a South Korean train, you will go to fucking jail. That's why. On Thursday, October 23rd, so this is like a crime spree, basically. The defendant boarded a bus and subway. Oh no, here we go again. Hopefully no old people are involved in this one or he's truly fucked. And in the process, the defendant disturbed other people's peace by playing loud music and disturbing sounds. Get this guy, get this prosecutor in the U.S. You playing loud music on the bus? Straight to jail. Straight to jail. He was also performing with pull-ups and sexual movements such as twerking. I would love to know what the... Hold up. There isn't a direct Korean word for twerking. You can describe it with phrases like hip dong sil chum, which means hip shaking dance, or iong deongi hyong delugi chum, meaning buttock shaking dance. So if you want to sit yourself in the court, that's the sound that you would have heard when he described twerking to the judge. So by causing this commotion, he did make other people feel uneasy, annoyed, or offended by his conduct. The judge said the defendant received a copy of the indictments, blah, blah, blah. The defendant admits guilt on the 3 counts stated, and after considering the details, will make a decision on the new count. Oh, there's a new indictment. Prosecutor says there's a new indictment to be merged into the case, the details of which will be read at the next trial date. And then he pleads guilty. He says, I'm fucking guilty. I'm just fucking stupid, Your Honor. Next hearing on April 9th. That is expedient. That's next month. Okay. Yeah, thank God he recorded all the evidence, huh? Let's see. Where are we at in this? Yeah. It'll be a long stream. Make sure to super chat your boy. Subscribe on Rumble, because I'm going to be drinking a lot of Wawa on this one. Having a good time. I feel good, chat. I feel good. I don't know why. Maybe it's because I'm getting all my vitamins. I ate my smoked oysters, chat. I ate my smoked oysters. I'm at my standing desk, enjoying the fresh air. Everything's just feeling good right now. I didn't mention this earlier, but I've been working really hard on getting a replacement for the Gumroad setup, and I have 2 potential things coming in. One of them is locals, and it's just taking forever. I don't know. I keep hammering them like, hey, where we at? I got a stream coming up on Friday. I'd love to have it ready by then. And then I don't get a response. And I don't know if it's just like they're super slow or what the fuck it is, but like I've been trying to contact these guys for literally years, and I'm never getting any kind of information. So I don't know if they're like just ducking me or they just really don't give a shit. It's really annoying. The other one's kind of a secret. It's a very annoying process that I'm just working on in the background. Cool. I will email people who are Gumroad subscribers when that's ready. Next, Ethan Klein is having a beef, and I feel like I've overrepresented Ethan and his drama in my recent streams. But to be quite honest with you, I really enjoy Ethan's like scorched earth attacks on Twitch. I really despise Twitch, and I think it's funny. I hate Hassan for obvious reasons. So I like seeing him just go like, this guy is like an anti-Semitic Jew hater, and he needs to go. And I'm curious to see how far he can push that to accomplish his goals. This video is about Snark subreddits, and what triggered it was that a guy called Bad Empanada openly admitted that he called CPS on Ethan Klein, and the casus belli for this was that Ethan Klein said that his child was being tested for something called like Giardia, and I want to say it's a parasite that you usually get from animal shit, because the child is now his child is crawling at that age, and they have a dog that shits on the floor, and the dog had this infection, so they wanted to make sure that the kid didn't have the infection either. So they're trying to keep the carpet clean, but then parasites can be in the carpet, and then the child crawling on the carpet can get the infection. So they were getting the child tested for this, and he decided to talk about this on stream for reasons unknown to me. And this resulted in apparently Bad Empanada saying that he called CPS and said, I know them personally. The floors are covered in dog shit. The child is rolling around in the dog shit. He's contracted preventable diseases as a result of being exposed to animal feces in the home. And that triggered a CPS investigation. The CPS agent had authority to enter the home and search it and conduct interviews with the children and inspect them for like visible signs of mistreatment. And then he said, I'm going to go to the school and talk to your children alone when they're at school. And he said, absolutely fucking not. You're not doing that. So he was pretty pissed off about that. And then a lot of people said, oh, he must be hiding something if he doesn't want them to have one-on-one conversations with a CPS agent. Like, are you fucking for real? Like, Randalls are like the dumbest fuckers on the planet. Like, I see that you're not allowing government agents to probe your butthole. I wonder what you have up there, sir. Like, no, you don't have a fucking right to do that when it's a fucking prank call. So I feel very empathetic towards them, because I really, really doubt that a family that has millions and millions of dollars rolling in, that has a full-time fucking maid, is really in such a place of shabbiness that their children are being exposed to pathogens that could otherwise be avoided. I mean, I guess not having the fucking dog in the house would be a good start, but some people like to have their shitty little dogs in their house, so that's not really that much you can do about that. Anyways, he went after them, and this originated on these Snark subreddits, where basically people who think that the Kiwi Farms is problematic because we misgender trannies or whatever the fuck, instead start up these subreddits that are called collectively known as Snark subreddits, and sometimes they're just called like H3 Snark or whatever the fuck. There's a bunch of them for a bunch of different people, and that's basically the Reddit Kiwi Farms. However, here's the fun part. Because Reddit is a massive site, because Reddit has absolutely no hosting issues, and because these subreddits are ran by whoever the fuck creates them and are posted in by anonymous accounts, they effectively have no rules. So they routinely dox people. They routinely admit to calling legal authorities on people to harass them. And they just get away with bloody murder that I would never, ever be allowed to get away with on the Kiwi Farms. Not only would I not be allowed to get away with it, it's just against the zeitgeist of the community. So Reddit has no fucking issue hosting what is worse than the Kiwi Farms. Is a publicly traded company, and the difference really is money. That they have the money to do whatever the fuck they want because they're a multi-million-dollar business. And the Kiwi Farms is run on a shoestring budget and sparkles and magic and love, and that's basically it. But we get the bad reputation, and Reddit is publicly traded on the stock exchange. That's how that works. And then Mudahar and Hassan are having a spat. So, let's see how much I want to read of this. Mudahar says, I get watching other people's videos is all you're really good at, but try vetting out slander before promoting them. I've never defended or backed the Israeli genocide on innocent Gazans, and never will I ever. Hassan says, in your only vid on Gaza, you admit to not knowing about politics. You try to cover for Israeli-Palestine as drama slot for centrist audiences, defend Asmongold for inferior culture's genocide comment, then attack pro-Palestinian voices. So I guess you just wanted the ad revenue then. Well, there are inferior cultures and genocides. Like, if you worship a pedophile, your culture is objectively inferior. He says, yes, I am not an expert on the topic. Oh, he's Indian. I didn't cover it as drama, and I didn't defend Asmund in the video, so he's just lying, I guess. Muda is a particularly insane case because he's a victim of the same right-wing mobs he also farms in his videos. He literally left Twitter because of vicious racism, and here he is and back again, only to farm more. Motherfucker, if you went on a Hajj, they hate you more than they hate me. Why did he go on a Hajj? Why did this Pajit go on a Hajj? Is Mudahar fucking Muslim? Explain this, chat. What is his malfunction? Are you shitting me? He's actually a Muslim poo? He's Bangladeshi? Oh my god. Dude. This is like infighting, man. This is like two pedophile worshippers having to go at it like, your pedophile worship is not as good as mine. Oh my god. Oh, he calls him a Muslim cosplayer. Literally this. I made videos criticizing right-wing stupidity. I don't want to be loved by neo-Nazis. I don't like your kind either. Okay. You will be deported. Okay. You deserve to be cooked by that loser for not taking a strong stance. Get the fuck out of here. That's funny. It doesn't matter how right you are. You criticize Hassan, he'll now slander you, and every time your name comes up on stream. He worships a pedophile. That's all you gotta say. Unfortunately, Mudahar also worships a pedophile and even went to go see the pedophile's cube. So he doesn't really have a leg to stand on with that. Do not care about these mud people fighting each other. Now, this is what I do care about. The content. Apparently, DSP and Kino Casino have had a falling out. Let's listen. Oh, when you encode a video, please use a format that works on all browsers. I literally write a fucking guide on how to format your fucking videos so they can play on both Firefox and Chrome. Okay, just imagine PPP and Andy Worskin. We'll play this in the other one.
These bums gave all our money to Dark Side Phil. Damn you, chat. Fuck Phil. Phil's a fucking bum, and his wife's fat. She's fat.
No, just kidding, Phil. Guys,
no, we love you, Phil. I'm sorry.
We love Phil. That's a bold move. I don't know if that'll work. Let's see what DSP has to say about it.
My wife again. All right, you ready? Ashton is fucked up for ever bringing up my wife. He should never have her name in his mouth. And I've spoken with him about it. And if he continues to bring her up in his content, whether it's his show or mine, Smart Guys, I will no longer work with him. We've had it out. I talked to him about it. It's fucked up that he would ever bring her up. It's one thing if he brings me up and he wants to razz on me because he's helped me out tremendously. All right? My wife has nothing to do with him or his content. And I swear to God, if he fucking brings her up again in a negative way in his content, I will cut ties with that man.
Trying to extort the pay. Don't know if that'll work. To be fair, to power of the truth, Cat is a big fat fucking bitch. Just a factual observation. PPP says, it is a fact. I'm not sure why there's so much hostility surrounding observing reality. Maybe it's because he lives in a walled-off fantasy land of his own creation where black is white, up is down, and it's mature, positive content. Dude. What started this? What started making fun of DSP's wife? I don't know. Does anyone in chat actually know why did this start? It's been ongoing. DSP says she has cancer, AIDS, and is therefore immune to criticism. Yeah, but does she even show up on stream to like what would warrant being like, oh, cat is like fat and retarded and evil? Like, what causes this? It's just PPP being PPP. She is fat. Okay. Okay, so they've just been trying to piss him off for a while now. I see. So then he responds, or this is PPP. He says, "What's crazy that Phil's solution to protecting his wife from a fat man calling her fat is to use her as it's my chair that just kicked. Use her as a human sympathy shield and reveal that she has a medical issue, as though this will stop trolls from making fun of her instead of giving them more ammo. Just unhinged and sad. What is the medical issue? This is also will be. Did you guys call it cancer AIDS in chat just because he like anomalously said like she has some kind of issue, so don't make fun of her. It's like bad to stress her out. Is that like what he said? It's a mystery. Okay. This will most likely be the start of a weekly series where we grill Phil until he decides to stop being a massive pussy and play into the sandbox like a big boy. Reply guy Ralph even replies and says, "If you want to piss off Power of the Truth at they call me DSP, replace him with me on Smart Guys. I've forgotten more about wrestling than he knows, and we will print money." Great. Excellent job application. Great audition, Ralph. One drunkenly piss fucking drunk hammered out tweet. That'll do it. That'll do, pig. That'll do. All right. Isor has asked me to play this. He said, "This might be good filler for the stream." A while back, Noel mentioned that DSP treats his viewers like employees in the way he updates them on various goals, stream updates, etc. Caesar Robot 5000, who normally does King Cobra videos, did a great video that showcased this perfectly. So let's watch this video real quick. This is a YouTube video, and therefore it will not play in this browser. 1 second. I am downloading it, chat. I can still download things for now. But once Neil Mahan gets his way, unless we manage to deport him to Israel or not Israel, India first, then we have a chance.
Where are we at for the week? Let's talk about the schedule, the goals, and all of that, shall we? We are at 36 out of 40 goals attained. When we attain 40 goals, it is time for a radical pizza party, dudes. We're going to have a pizza party. Are we going to do Domino's, Pizza Hut, or Papa John's? All right? I'm going to eliminate another pizza right now. Ladies and gentlemen, I am eliminating Pizza Hut. I've eliminated Pizza Hut. That's right. You can't even look at me right now because I'm such an evil villain. Exactly. I'm such a heinous individual. Everything I do just exudes toxicity and negativity, and you can't stand to look at me for a second. I know. So it's going to be a choice between Domino's and Papa John's, all right? Two unique places, all right? One of them, probably the longest running one in America, Domino's. I remember that ever since I was a kid. They were the big fast food delivery pizza place. They do various different kinds of pizza, like the hand-tossed style, the New York style, the thin crust style, and they have various appetizers. So if we get Domino's, I'll probably get a regular pizza, a specialty pizza, and an appetizer. If I get Papa John's, I'll probably end up getting like a stuffed crust, a regular crust, and then an appetizer, okay? And you might say, well, when is this going to be? Because we want to know when to be there. I don't know. I would like to tell you exactly when it's going to be, but I don't know simply because it depends on when we hit our goals. 2 goals hit today, 2 goals hit tomorrow, and we're doing the pizza party on Wednesday. Okay? It could take longer. It could be Thursday. It could be Friday. All right? And there's nothing I can do about that. I'm not controlling that. It's basically you guys. So whenever you want this stuff to happen, all right, let's get it going with support. It's that simple. Okay? So the sooner the better. Let's hit some goals. All right? Thank you guys so much in advance. Definitely let's hit the goal. We already got a great head start. Let's hit the goal today. Let's get closer to the pizza party. I can't wait to lock it in and be like, we're doing the pizza party. It's going to be fun.
I really appreciate, by the way, how he sampled the really, really hideous fat black woman from those awful, awful Amazon Prime ads and used that to like make a poster out of it. That's pretty creative. This must be made out of like SFM because this looks like a room in Half-Life 2 or something. Oh, awesome. I would maybe I should do a pizza party. If I did a pizza party, you guys think I'd make like $1 million? Is that I can't even do that because fucking Jesse does that. Jesse literally does what they're making fun of Darkside Phil for. Okay. So Jack Scalfani was apparently exposed to some internet content that he did not like. Let's watch a minute of this at least.
Okay, here we go.
Jack is on Rumble Studio now. Is everyone? This is what I mean. All the top content creators are moving on to Rumble.
Jack and Jimmy, you guys should watch. Is it Boku? No Pico. One of the better anime shows out there.
Pokemon.
I'll take a look at it. Say again, you watch Pokemon?
No.
Oh. Have you ever played Pokemon Go?
No.
Boy, you're boring.
I've had a lot of friends that do.
Dude,
no,
you gotta check.
This conversation is exactly like listening to two old men talk to each other, where they're both like really old and they have brain issues.
You gotta check out an anime.
Raid Shadow Legends. But I don't know. Mobile games.
He actually, this guy is the target audience for all those fucking Raid Shadow Legends plugs.
It's extremely repetitive. So I
Okay.
stopped. I'll play for like a month or two. And
Jack hates video games.
Where does that come from?
What are you guys pulling comments out of your butt? What the frick? You literally, you guys literally pull the stuff out of thin air. I don't even know how you got the information, some of the stuff that you're writing. No, I love video games and have dealt with them. I mean, literally, I've owned every gaming unit.
It honestly feels like teasing someone who's actually genuinely retarded. Like if someone has like a really low IQ and they love trains and they go, I love trains. And you just like, you try to like rib them in like the most tame way possible. And you're like, are you sure you love trains? I'm not so sure you love trains. And he's like genuinely hurt. Like, what do you mean I don't love trains? I got train in my bedroom. I got train, choo-choo train bed sheets. I got choo-choo train avatar, my Steam profile picture. I got choo-choo train everywhere. And it's like, well, I'm not being serious. I'm not actually saying you don't like trains, bro. Come on. Don't take offense. I want to see. Skip ahead. Skip to the last minute.
Watching Reacher.
Let's talk about anime.
Cool. But I hate to break the news to you. That's not anime. That's not
These are the people who have anime girl profile pictures on Twitter.
Running
gag. But I mean, I don't know. I don't know if they personally watch. I don't care if they do. It's not my cup of tea. But it's kind of like one of those running gags. Well, I mean, people talk about it.
The nude anime.
How do I know what it is?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, people talk about it.
Your friends that watch it.
Well, I mean, it's kind of like one of those running gags.
What do you mean running gag? Like a donkey punch?
Joke about. Yeah. Kind of
Dude,
like
that's not a running
they
gag.
would do it, but I mean, I don't know. I don't know if they personally watch. I don't care if they do. It's not my cup of tea.
This is like two old, like professedly, like prominently Christian people trying to pretend they don't know what hentai is.
I know what it is. I actually had to have somebody remind me what it was called because I was like, I know that.
I don't even know the name. Oh God, what's that? What's that anime that's like naked shit and sex? What's that called again? Oh man, it's on the tip of my fucking tongue. I have no idea what it is. I've heard of it through the ether. It's like a joke on the internet.
They call it something.
Says Jack, are you a gooner? I get. He says he or she. Sorry, I don't know by your name.
Gamer. It's probably gamer.
Rowdy Rat. A gooner is an anime fan.
Really?
So, I didn't know that. I've learned two things.
So
today.
true, King.
I never knew that, but I'll have to look that up.
What, hentai?
No, gooner. I've seen that word before in like chat rooms on Reddit, but I didn't know what they were talking about. I just kind of grazed over it.
That's what you call them. I have the whole gooner boards on 4chan for all those gooners that love anime. Awesome. King Cobra JFS, his YouTube channel has been deleted for reasons unknown. Let's see, actually. They don't actually know, so it's just something happened. I think he made like a backup channel or something. Triumphant return. Reddit fags are probably already seeing about it. Get my boy on Rumble. See, this is what I hate about the fucking Reddit Snark subs. They're obsessed with like a lolcow, but then they have to see. This is the thing. I make fun of retarded people because it's funny. Jack Scalfani is like funny to make fun of, right? Because he's like a retard. But you can't say that on Reddit, which is better than the Kiwi Farm, because Kiwi Farm is so mean and Kiwi Farm misgender people. But Reddit, we are blessed and we do things for the right reasons. Jack Scalfani isn't just a silly retard who says dumb shit and eats himself into an early grave despite having years of warning to stop being such a fat slob. Actually, he abused his son and talked about it on that stream. So he is a bad person. And when someone is a bad person, you can do literally anything you want to them. You can fucking walk up with a gun and shoot them in the fucking head. You can take down all their websites. You can DDoS attack them. You can hack their social media accounts and bank accounts and publish that shit on the internet. That's no hold bars on Reddit because we are given the mandate of Reddit. Our upvotes indicate that you are a bad person and therefore have no human rights. It's the same thing with Cobra. It's like, he killed Puff. He slaughtered Puff the lizard, and for that reason King Cobra JFS is in fact a bad person. So everybody please come on Reddit. We can do this together, Reddit, with our upvotes and our mass reports. We can do anything together, Reddit. Please report his channel because he's a bad person and we're given the mandate to do whatever we want to him. It's like, you can't just enjoy a fucking lolcow. You can't just fucking enjoy a guy who gets drunk and talks about magic or whatever the fuck. It's gotta be a crusade against a bad person that did the bad thing. You don't even know what the fuck he did. You don't know shit. That's why Reddit is like obsessed with calling people a pedophile. Because if you can say he's a pedophile, you can walk up with a sledgehammer and start breaking his fucking bones, which is what they want. This is the thing. Redditors are like as an overclass are like the most spineless pussy faggots that have ever lived, ever walked the earth. The most castrated, helpless, like limp-wristed freaks that writhe along the ground like a snake, like one of those little salamanders that have little tiny legs like T-Rex arms, so they can only move by like wiggling pathetically across the ground. But then they go into the internet and they're like, I can make this guy's life hell and he's a bad person, so I'm completely justified in doing it, even if it's not funny, because it gives me a little bit of power, just a little bit of power over an actual fucking retard with brain damage and alcoholism. I can get a little bit of power over him, and that's all that matters, because I post on Reddit. Nobody loves me. Fuck, I hate them. Very quickly, I began to despise them. Alright. This is just a little shout out. Speaking of despising people, in the Andrew Tate thread on the Kiwi Farms, posted just today, just this morning, post number 208-28523, in case someone's watching this in the future and wants to find it. This is a comprehensive list of every single person who has put their lips on Andrew Tate's asshole and rimmed him for clout. He has money. He has fans. I want money. I want fans. I'll give a little rimming. So here's all the people, all the fucking celebrities on the internet that went ahead and were like, yeah, this brown Mohammedan rapist sex trafficker, he's my guy. And I evaluate this based off two facts. He occasionally says something about white people being replaced, and he also has lots of money and fans that I also want. So, in case you're looking for this post, we got Tim Pool, we got Russell Brand, that's no surprise. Ian Carroll, who... Oh, he was recently on Joe Rogan. Quartering, that's sad. Elon Musk, of course. Nigel. Oh, these are fence sitters, so these are not hard commits. These are people who are like, well, we should sit and wait. We should sit and wait for the justice system to take its course so that I don't have to make any determinations on evidence of my own. Sure, we have witness testimony. Sure, we have Andrew Tate's own words. Sure, we have the academy that he actually sells documents on how to steal people's passports so you can pimp them out on OnlyFans and take their fucking money. Sure, he has done all this, but let's see what the Romanian courts come up with. That's all I'm asking for is a fair trial. I am brain damaged, and I don't want to piss off the fans that actually like this fucking retard, even though he's viscerally disgusting to a normal person. I don't want to piss off my own fans by having a principled stance. Principled stances are called bad for business, buddy. So we're going to wait and see on this one. And then when he's found guilty for rape, I can just say, whoa, I just said, let's give him a shot in the court of law. I Hypocrite, Alex Rosen, these are the guys that actually supported him, I think. Paul Joseph Watson, Ryan Garcia, Dana White. Dana White hit that. Bam! I love hitting women so much. I'm going to make a slapping competition a sport. Bam! Dana White hit that. Thank you, Boss Man Jack, for educating me on the proud history of Dana White. Charlie Kirk, of course. Roger Stone, of course. Roger Stone, deep tongue up of the ass. Trump Jr., sad. Richard Grinnell, don't know who that is. Trump advisor, of course. Alina Habba, counselor to Trump. And J.D. Vance, of course. J.D. Vance follows a bunch of people, though, so who knows. There we go. The conservacucks who... Oh, these are more even. Oh, this is Full Sin Podcast, the PBD podcast. Aiden Ross is just a fucking bag. Miriam Gaines, who is like... Look at this fucking guy. He's like from Fresh and Fit, right? Yeah, Fresh and Fit. I don't even know why I know this. I'm kind of upset that I know this. The redheaded libertarian, this fucking hag. Dude, imagine being a woman. Imagine being a woman and supporting a man who sex traffics because you want that money. Imagine you are just a prostitute. You are just a whore. You're a fucking spineless, craven fucking whore. You're the exact kind of low IQ, easily manipulated, dumb broad that can get fucking sex trafficked to begin with. If the shoe was on the other foot, she would be the one in a Romanian dungeon filming porn for her brown Mohammedan sex packs master. That's what would be her life if things were just a little bit different. Fucking spineless. Loomer, of course, she's ugly. She doesn't have an excuse. Hodgkins, don't even know them. Tucker Carlson, disgusting. Candace Owen, big one up the ass too. Okay. Okay, this is Eric July. I need some water for this one. Eric July. The thing is, Eric July talks almost exactly in my Ralph voice, but if I read this in my Ralph voice, people would be confused. So, Eric July has finally addressed the JQ. Let's take a look. He says, I'll give you attention this one time. I know this will be the highlight of the last 5 years, and you'll create a lot of content out of it. Your entire narrative hinges on controlling the conversation while I focus on actually running my business. You don't really have anything else to do that works to your benefit. That's why you keep lying to people, desperately trying to stay in control of the narrative. 0 emails or contact were ignored. The screenshot you're showing, which I've never seen before, doesn't even support your own claim Then I stopped responding. If they planned to send me something or drafted it, does not mean that I actually received it. You retard, I was never served. Attached is an email I received before the trial, completely blowing a hole in your argument. No trial ever took place that required us to appear. I've never failed to appear. There was no case that I lost. You've lied about the entire thing. Your comedic career peaked in a Pizza Hut commercial that didn't even air. Not even a single reputable film, show, or stand-up special to your name. At best, you're just a gay podcaster. You built your entire brand piggybacking off a man you once idolized like a father, Maddox, and when that dried up, you latched onto me. Now you hover, obsess, lie, and while you allegedly enjoy being pegged in a cow costume and blowing dudes at festivals, you'll need to find another bull for your affairs. I'm not interested. You got your homosexual ego bruised. One video of me, not even mentioning you, covering your nonsensical review, has sent you into a 2-year meltdown where you've wasted thousands of hours crying about me. You can dish out critiques but fall apart when yours get dismissed. You being unimportant irritates you. What really makes you a hoe, is how you operate through others, using your pet retard. I love that. That feels like a direct copy of something I've said. I feel like pet retard is something that I say frequently, but which is not a common parlance term that normal people use in colloquial conversation. To do your dirty work, you're not some enemy of mine. You're just a low-effort content farmer desperately trying to leech off someone with no interest engaging in this clown show. That's why you run from people like Pod Awful. Oh no, Jesse P.S. mentioned. Second time in this stream, too. I referenced him in the pizza show thing. Who actually had the time to clap back. You need another Maddox to stay relevant because nobody actually cares about you. You can't carry anything by yourself. From my understanding, actually, Jesse is getting a interview with Black Comic Man. And if you are not clued in, Jesse is like the original Dick Masterson Juju A-Log. Like he's been at this for a long ass fucking time. I can't remember even why. I first appeared on the Dick Show on like episode 60 or something, or even before then. The Dick Show was really recent, and now it's on episode like 400 or some shit. It's been going for a while, which is crazy to me. But even when I knew Dick, Jesse was like his top A-Log. So for whatever reason, Jesse has always not liked Dick. So. And Dick's response to Jesse has always been to ignore him. Like in the same way that Eric July has basically always ignored Juju for years. Dick doesn't want to give any attention to Jesse because he's like the number one Juju the Cow fan in the entire world. And so he tries to ignore him. So Black Comic Book Man going on Jesse's podcast to talk to him about Dick might actually really piss him off, but his reaction to these things is always uniform. Whenever something happens, he just goes, that's thanks to the free content, idiot. That's going on the Patreon. If you want to see my live reaction to the Jesse P.S. Eric July interview, you can subscribe on patreon.org/The Dick Show right now. That's what he does every time. And then he'll read it and like poker face it and try not to act pissed off when shit happens. You're a 40-year-old, unaccomplished, unfunny shock jock who gossips like a schoolgirl for engagement. Hey now. You hide behind the comedian tag to excuse your lies on retardation. Hey now. You lied about the pull-up narrative claiming I aimed at you, yet you still sent a pet retard. You lied about your pet retard's case. You lied about the charity involvement, even going so far to tag the IRS and contact the charity like a Karen, injecting yourself into something that had nothing to do with you, and there was no malpractice. All for content because you're born as shit. Contacting the IRS is the most bitch-ass fucking thing in the entire fucking world. Anyone who does that is a fucking worm. A little Reddit worm. Reddit worms pick at you as you writhe on the ground. And yet we're still here, still building. That pisses you off. Our success is living proof of just how irrelevant and uninfluential you are. You're reckless, drughead, low impulse control, degenerate, surrounded by people who reflect the same traits, constantly running from responsibility, stability, decency, and anything resembling a meaningful legacy. And that's pretty true. This is just an email saying, I assume the prosecutor has already reached out to you, but if not, I just learned the case has been disposed of, so you will not need to be here on Tuesday. Have a great day, Danny. Alrighty. I won't read this, but Dick tried to post like a court document trying to like own Eric July, and it just says that Eric July was never served. So it's like there's no. Of course, he didn't appear. He wasn't served. The docket says that. And then top it all off, Dick got caught following someone called Lollymancer, whose description says, "I love cute stuff," and then it has the crying emoji, which is all pedophile terminology shit. And it is apparently just nothing but like pictures of kids, like hentai of kids. So I don't know why he was following this, but he was. From what maybe he was doing research to help him understand what lolicon is. He's very invested in it. Has multiple friends on his show that like huge into lolicon. As Digibro said, he likes videos of little girls getting fucked. So maybe just doing some research for his friends to help understand their condition a little bit better. Okay. I'm not 100. This is one of the things that I couldn't prepare for because I slept in, and my wake up and need to make money thing didn't play. But my voice is going. I gotta stop yelling. I'm yelling too much, chat. We have to calm down time. Calm down time. So on X, there's a guy called Bronze Age Pervert, which apparently is a very popular guy. Some people got mad at me and accused me for covering for him because I didn't talk about him last stream. But I don't even follow him on Twitter because I don't follow anybody who like sees about white women on Twitter. If I follow you because you're like conservative or whatever the fuck, and you start seething about white women, I immediately unfollow you. Like, because I don't want to see that on my feed. I don't want to see doomer, pessimistic, anti-white narratives regurgitated by conservatives because they have no pussy, and that is basically the impetus for that. Like, I don't care to see it. So Bronze Age Pervert I don't follow for that specific reason, because a lot of his content, from what I remember, was just like, fellow gentlemen, if only white women were enslaved in our tunnel girl basement sex dungeons, then we could form society in our own will and divine creation and fix all the problems. So I don't follow him. On that note, a journalist doxed Bronze Age Pervert, and apparently, this is debated, apparently in his notes, which allegedly leaked, it mentions that a company called Authentics verified the docs. Authentics is a Israeli-based financial services company that does identity verification for know your customer requirements. Don't know, anytime you send or receive money through a company, you have to go through KYC. KYC is a big pain in the ass. You have to do what I call the goy dance. You have to sit there with your driver's license right in front of the camera, and then turn your head. You got to do a little goy shuffle. They'll tell you which kind of goy shuffle to do to make sure that you're doing it right. It's not a real video. And then they submit that to an AI, or they jerk off to it with a real person, and they verify your identity so that you can send and receive money like a human fucking being, which we could do over the phone only a couple of years ago. So, if Authentics is verifying docs, that's really bad because X uses them for Know Your Customer where it doesn't use Stripe. I assume in countries outside the US, I don't know how that works. But it is for sure one of X's verified partners. It is for sure an Israeli Know Your Customer company. And supposedly, the journalist was able to get docs verified through that, but that is disputed. The journalist said that the document being shared was fake. The other account I recently unfollowed was Captive Dreamer, and that was because I forget what. Oh, it was Epstein. So this is the other recent thing that's become a thing. I think this is what Bronze Age Pervert got into trouble for, that Captive Dreamer also got into trouble for. It's like, so not only was Andrew Tate, that wasn't enough. People are defending Jeffrey Epstein as like a falsely accused fall guy for the elites now. That the Epstein files had nothing in it, that the children there were not being sex trafficked, and that the women there that were engaging in sexual activity were there of their own volition. So now that's become the new retard right cause. We got to defend Andrew Tate because he's one of us. He's a bro. He says things about white people. And we got to stop harping on the legacy of Jeffrey Epstein. The ADL needs to get in here and debunk all these horrifically anti-Semitic myths about his sexual exploitation. In fact, I think one of these is just like a huge long list of every fucking thing that Captain Dreamer said about how Jeffrey Epstein was like falsely accused. I don't know. I don't want to hunt it down. I don't really give that much of a shit. Okay, here's the clip from Bronze Age Pervert. Here we go. Here's the narrative. Ready? Almost all the girls at Epstein Island were 18 or over and came back multiple times willingly. There's no evidence of anything under 17 or of abuse. If he did compromise these men, what allowed him to do that? Hysteria over natural attraction to fully grown women. A lot of dissident influencers are lying or being vague about what went on Epstein Island. Granted that he was collecting info and compromise, but regarding what? This could only happen in a Western atmosphere of feminist sexual hysteria. So this is his thought. He hates... This guy is gay, by the way. I don't know if he's an open gay or a closet gay, but he's definitely a faggot. Gay men hate women more than any other person alive. Because women are competition to them. Men have sex with women mostly, and he wants to have sex with men. And the average gay man has like 600 sexual partners in their life. So it's like the fewer straight men, the better, more sex that he can have with more people, the more pause loading he can do. So he's just like so obsessed with his hatred that there are white women that men are attracted to that aren't him, that he is willing to say that Jeffrey Epstein did nothing wrong, and the compromising material blackmail that he received on people was merely that they were having sex with women, maybe because they were cheating or something. So therefore, that's feminist sexual hysteria. And Jeffrey Epstein didn't do anything wrong in that sense. Here's a quote from the actual prosecution saying, the victims described herein were as young as 14 years old at the time that they were abused by Jeffrey Epstein, the defendant, and they were, for various reasons, often particularly vulnerable to exploitation. Epstein intentionally sought out minors and knew that many of his victims were in fact under the age of 18, including because in some instances minor victims expressly told him their age. This is a quote from one interview with one person, completely taken out of context. Question, did he make you do things you didn't want to do? No. So it's like, who is this person? What is their relationship to Jeffrey Epstein? Is this conversation specifically about sex acts that the person performed on Jeffrey Epstein as opposed to, in general, like just completely out of fucking context? Oh yeah, by the way, if you've ever seen the... Oh god, I blocked this fucking retard. They get retweeted a lot, but they have an anime avatar, so I blocked them. If you have an anime avatar, I just straight up fucking block you. Bat makes good points regarding Epstein cases. Look like teens were above the age of consent, willingly having sex, or not even that, for easy money, rather than ritual child abuse and sacrifice of 8-year-olds. Contrast to Pizzagate, which was totally covered up. Remember Podesta's art. So Pizzagate is real, but Jeffrey Epstein was just having a little fun time, happy at Virgin Island experience. I initially believed Epstein was a Mossad blackmail op while elites raping, maybe killing prepubescent children. When the evidence I see doesn't align with this narrative, I ask people to send proof, but they just hysterically chimp out and call me a Jewish shill. How about you read the fucking indictment? That's it. I don't want to talk more about Twitter shit. So this is Ethan Ralph. I got two parts of the Ethan Ralph story, chat. It's true, I do live in an anime-free bubble. If I see anime, I just fucking block it. Not interested, block that account, get it off my fucking screen. I don't want to see this shit. I'm a grown-ass fucking man, turning 33 this year, don't want to see no fucking cartoons. Fuck off. So Grace Thorpe, if you don't know, in brief, Grace Thorpe is the daughter of some fucking asshole that's raping her, basically. It's a sexual relationship, incestuous, daughter-father, really fucking gross. But she's been like having sex with him for so long that I imagine it's really, really impossible for her to imagine what her life is without like her daddy boyfriend there to help, and do shit. So they're just kind of in a relationship together, and they keep bouncing around places because when the governments of local states find out that they're in an incestuous relationship, they give court orders for them to be split apart. And then, of course, they're in a sexual relationship, so they don't stay apart at all. And she has no means of independence whatsoever. So she is not financially independent. She doesn't know how to take care of herself because her boyfriend has always been there. So she just gets back with him immediately. And then they get into more trouble because they violated the restraining order. And the states don't really know what to do. So they just take their camper van and they leave the state. And that's basically where their life has been for a while. So Ethan Ralph is absolutely obsessed with Grace Thorpe. I've only talked about her. I think in adjacency to Ethan Ralph. And he's been blowing up her phone recently. She has him in her phone as Ethan Ralph pig emoji. And then she said, "Hey Ethan, I know your show's dead and you're struggling for content and you miss me, but please stop spam calling me like a psycho ex-girlfriend. If you're looking for someone to fill the void, I hear Mexican gigolos aren't expensive in your area." And that's a reference to a story I think Ralph told when he was extremely fucked up, that he once paid a Mexican prostitute, a male prostitute, to fuck his wife, Pantsu, in the ass because she said that she had been raped in the ass as a child and wanted to get fucked in the ass by a Mexican again because that would help with her sexual trauma. So Ethan Ralph paid a man to fuck his wife in the ass while he watched. I think that is literally what he told as a story on his podcast at some point. I don't remember exactly, but I'm pretty sure that's pretty close. Then Ralph says, "It's over." "It's over, you fat cow. Crash dummied the wall at age 23. I guess Ben likes flat-ass, lanky skanks. At least they're his daughter. I'll have to pass. I'm a legend. You're an afterthought. I'll do a nice tribute when you're gone from the mortal coil, though." And here's an unflattering picture of Grace Thorpe. She says, "And yet you're one spam calling a fat cow. So then Ralph has to reply. Ralph looks like he's got like that Ozempic face that like Ethan Klein has. They look so old. They got that old grandma face.
"Grace, it's over, you fat cow. I know you want to pick a fight with me. You think that'll make you more money? I could be passed out on stream and make... I don't want to do that, by the way. I'm just telling you the history of the record. I have done more in this business than you could ever dream of. You could live 3 lifetimes and never stack up to what I've done. And I'm not done yet. And you picked this fight with me by being a treacherous, evil whore, not to mention fucking your father. You're a disgrace to every single good thing about humanity, and you deserve everything that happened to you." Rich from Review Tech, he said he didn't get you banned. I hope he did. And by God, if I'd have got you banned, I'd sit here and be telling you about it. I'm just going to laugh about it instead. We're on the way to see an epic downward spiral. And I've been in a few spirals myself. But by God, I always come back. Why? Because I'm talented. And I'm not some skank who only relied on her sex appeal in the first place. Not that you didn't have a flat ass the entire time. Now you're 200 fucking pounds. You're disgusting. And the only person who want to put their dick inside you is your father. And even he's getting sick and disgusted of it by now. You nasty bitch.
I appreciate that Ralph still wears glasses indoors because he's got a googly eye from that time that a prostitute beat him in the streets of Portugal. Yeah, you're a bad person. Well, you're a bad person, Grace. Okay. Cool, Ralph. So after I went on Zitter, right, as I do, and I just posted some shit. I just shit posted. I don't remember what I said. It was just shit. Oh wait, hold up. Sorry. Oh my God. Let's get back into that. Ralph gave this killer promo. Sorry, I have to re-hype this whole thing up. Ralph gave out this killer promo where he laid out the fucking cards and he told that trash whore who was a shining example of everything bad in the entire world and all of humanity, told that trash whore that he would laugh and laugh, and he's seeing her spiral. As a matter of fact, as an expert in downward spirals, I've seen many spirals in my own lifetime from a first-person perspective, and Girl, you in one. You afraid of downward spirals? Bish, you in a downward spiral. So after that great hype up, Ethan Ralph decided to confront her and her father friend together on the Keel stream. And Ralph assumed that they would be streaming on YouTube. So those of a weak disposition to racist content, please avert your gaze. I will be playing this uncensored. Here is Ralph trying to epically own Grace Thorpe and her father in a debate.
Hey, Ben, you nigger, how you doing?
Whoa. You can't say that on Rumble, you know that, right?
You daughter fucking nigger, how you doing? Can you see me? You have to get real close with those spectacles. See, these are shades, buddy. I don't actually need those.
Just call the microphone.
Oh, well, I can't see your ugly face.
I can talk back here. You don't hear me.
Well, you can do whatever you want to do. I mean, you fuck your daughter, so, like, I wouldn't put anything past you.
What is the swelling under your eyes, dude?
That's from wearing the sunglasses all day. I know you're used to that being from you punching your daughter in the face, but no, that's from wearing the sunglasses. Remember that time you kicked her?
Better keep them on.
Remember that time you kicked her?
Look.
Remember that time you kicked her?
Yeah.
Yeah, you do. Did you jack off to that?
Remember that time you challenged me to a boxing match and then backed out because you're a pussy?
Because nobody else sanctioned the fight.
What's going on here? What are you upset about?
I just don't like you two faggots.
Oh, okay. And that's because...
Because you're a nigger, that's why. A white nigger, as Sargon would say, yeah.
No, this guy. Let's...
All right.
See you later.
White nigger, white nigger. W. W, motherfucker. That's how you handle the Thorpes. That's how you handle the Thorpes right there.
I love how he literally has on standby a button he can press to give himself applause. Like when he chimps the fuck out at people that came by for like a discussion. After he just chimps out, he just gives himself a round of applause. Truly truly amazing. Remarkable tactic. Anyways, so as I was saying, when I was eating, Ralph has been replying to me like randomly on Twitter to just yell at me, and I don't reply back because it's like, what's the point? He was like, you are on Twitter waxing philosophical yet again, John Potter. But don't you run a gossip site, boy? Ain't there some gossip? You should be talking about the biggest fucking story of the entire year, John Potter. So he didn't actually explain what the fuck he was talking about. However, I believe it was this. Now hold up. See if I can find this real quick. Oh yeah, this is it. This is it. See, I have various hamsters for various purposes. And this is okay, this works. But I don't have a pig is the thing. So this is going to be the first ever pig segment of my stream, because this segment is brought to you directly by Ethan Ralph. So we need like, can I do this? Hold up. I'm gonna mash these two together to get something. Okay. Oh hell yeah. Let me take this. Let me just put the pig on the desk. That's pretty Ethan Ralph. I gotta admit, that's pretty good. Okay, so the actual pig segment of the stream, unique to the stream, first time ever, this debut, content directly directed to me by Ethan Ralph that I must talk about. So let's read through this together. I'm only vaguely aware of this. I have been mentioning that Vickers has been going through some legal problems, because that is funny to me, because I hate Vickers as well. But I believe that okay, this is the second Vickers family restraining order in full. Vickers confirmed cuck with multiple bulls and he possibly has AIDS. I am not kidding. So this is the request for a DVRO from Ethan Patrick Vickers, age 20, which is his son. It's the address. And you want protection from Ariana Vickers, his mother. The following statement from Ethan Vickers says, the person I am seeking protection from is my mother, Ariana Vickers. Her abusive and self-destructive behavior began on October 2023, following a sudden halt in medication that she had been taking for 15 years. The medication, Cymbalta, is an antidepressant medication prescribed to moderate her consistent anxiety and depression syndromes. It has been known to her, me, and the rest of the immediate family that when she stops taking this medication, it results in extreme manic and depressive episodes that are typically accompanied by extreme actions. Since she has stopped taking the medication, and more specifically over the past year, her actions and reactions to things, both large and small, have become more sporadic, hostile, and flat-out malicious. Let's see. Mention her weight loss. She started screaming at her father, or the father, for the entire day. They've been going through a divorce. Let's see. Thanksgiving event. I asked my parents' close friend would be there. The importance to his appearance is linked to Ariana informing me that she would be entering an ethical, non-monogamous relationship with my father and herself. My partner, Fiona, has expressed multiple experiences with non-monogamous situations that have left her unsettled when put into an environment with a non-monogamous couple. That's a weird way to phrase that. I think what he's saying is that Vickers and his mother were going to open their relationship, and his girlfriend had been cheated on and doesn't want like a non-monogamous couple around her. Ariana responded that she didn't think that he would be there and proceeded to guilt trip me by implying that I was using a personal thing to force her into a position to choose between me or the new boyfriend. She said she wasn't mad but sad. She messaged my sister, Faith, recurring star of the show, using the reasoning that she had to sit there and, quote, imagine what he and Fi had done. Had invited her over, even paid for the hotel rooms, and couldn't do things in. My first physical confrontation was on January 2024 at the grandmother's house. Let's see. Faith was sent into a full PTSD-induced panic attack. Having further requested details from her, she sent me a 54-second-long audio message, which was clearly presented Ariana screaming that my father, Matthew, had kidnapped my 3 younger brothers, and screaming asking why Matthew knew Ariana was freaking out, while Faith, barely able to speak, was trying to explain that since it was a situation that involved him, she wanted to know what was happening. She stated, and I quote, she came yelling at me and hitting my door and calling me a little bitch. Please, Ethan, stop. I told her I would stop, but I was driving over for her safety and proceeded to send me another voice message. This time it was at my grandmother, Retha Couch, Ariana's mother, telling me to calm down while she was screaming at the top of her lungs. This further encouraged me to drive over. My father had told my mother that they felt unsafe and were leaving, and refused to elaborate on where they were going, but they would be back in a bit. And she threatened to report them to law enforcement. This is very, very long. I would love a Cliff Notes version of this. Okay. Faith texts his father. I told Ariana that she cannot call the police, especially if Matthew took my brothers with him, because they felt they were in danger, as that could have repercussions on her, because the police would want to know why they felt threatened. And they had a physical confrontation where he tried to block his mother, and she said, fuck off, you haven't been on my side at all since May 1, Ethan. And this was the point that my grandmother told everybody to calm down. My mother went to go talk to her. During the moment of calling, I told Faith to pack my stuff, and we left. Faith moved away shortly. Okay, the next big outburst was somewhere around November, where Matthew Vickers was made aware of the fact that Ariana had been lying about her awareness of her current boyfriend's HIV status, as well as the usage of contraceptives such as condoms during sexual activities, while also still engaging in intercourse with Matthew Vickers. Matthew had a strong reaction to the news and made it clear that he was terminating their romantic relationship, to which my mother followed this up by accusing him of rape against her and telling me and my brothers about this as well. So she was in a cuckold open relationship, having sex with her ex-husband, I guess, because I think they were going through a divorce at this time. And her bull had AIDS, and she was raw dogging that shit. So Matthew Vickers might literally have AIDS. Matthew Vickers, who came onto the Kiwi Farms and told me I didn't know what I was talking about because he was a father of like 8 kids and had been married for like 20 fucking years. I didn't know what I was talking about, and he had this all under control. And then his daughter got impregnated, and now he might have AIDS. Could have happened to a nicer fat retard. Let's see if there's anything else, actually. She asked why I would support him raping her. Called him a rapist. After this incident, my father had been boxing up Ariana's possessions into their own individual boxes at their time and offered to pay me to move them to a place of residence over her place of residence where he had been granted a DVRO already. The final confrontation was on December 15th, 2025, so this is in the future, and he's come back to report this, when she had reportedly discovered a huge bombshell about my father earlier that day. Matthew Vickers, who's Faith's father, obviously, was not aware of any developments, but had developed a theory that it was an already known lawsuit that he had learned about approximately October 2024. The lawsuit did not involve my mother at all. My mother had opted to call me and inform me on my way down to Penn Valley to move boxes. That was indeed what she was talking about. Ariana proceeded to message me about the boxes. This needs more paragraphs, Aces. She walked up, forced open the passenger door where William was seated, and proceeded to scream at me and him that we gossiped to my father, that we're supporting a rapist, etc. I, having just got something from my old bedroom at my father's residence, proceeded to walk to my car. They screamed at each other. They blocked off the path to the car and pulled him into a hug while trapping him from leaving while he was short of breath, asking not to be touched. I think that's it. It's just family drama. The black, I don't know if he's black. I just assume that he's black. I think Matthew Vickers would prefer a black bull, to be quite honest with you. Now, after this news broke, and I hope I have a video for this, because if not, I just have to relay this. Okay. It was like...
Yeah, but I don't know what your chat looks like. They can't hear me right now because my
chat's always angry.
Okay, so this is a restream from Cog. Or not Cog. I forget who this guy is. I'm sorry, I don't know who he is. He has an admission that he would like to tell the audience. I think this is the right part.
I mean, I hope it works out well. I hope I'm wrong, and I hope it works out well.
I say we're banging Ariana.
What?
What are you gonna say then?
Oh my God. So you're going to make this announcement here, huh?
Yeah, I just did.
Oh my God.
Wait, what? No.
I'll repeat it in a second if he doesn't repeat it.
All right, you maybe just made my day. You maybe just made my day.
Perspicacity, sorry.
So are you... all right, so how's this going to work?
I mean, I'm not gonna go. I mean, I know you're a homosexual. You probably don't know how.
Okay, he's like drunk and slurring through this. Ralph, during this stream, claims that he had a sexual relationship with his baby mama's dad's wife. that he was the one that was the bull, and he broke open this relationship, and he gave it to Mrs. Vickers, raw dog style, his baby mama's mother. That is his claim. That is the news that Ethan Ralph specifically requested that I educate the public on. That he fucked his child's grandmother. How does chat react to this? Do you guys feel sickened? Do you feel... Actually, I feel sick. Give me a second, chat. For the first time, I feel like I need to sit down. Because I ate oysters today. And then I drank a lot of water for the stream. And now I feel sick to my stomach, chat. And I need to sit down. Chat. I feel kind of lightheaded, chat. I feel like, I don't know if it's the oysters or if it's the fact that Mr. Vickers is an AIDS-infested cuckold, or if it's the fact that Ethan Ralph says that he fucked his child's grandmother, but I kind of feel like I'm going to throw up, and I kind of feel like I need to sit down for a second. If I just start randomly playing outro music and I don't read any super chats, I apologize. That's because I'm in a state of disrepair. Stop doing the galaxy gas. Grab the trash can. Go to the ER. Take a deep breath. Go to the Martin Sharp. No, they're not raw. They were smoked. I just didn't eat them with anything else. Does everyone have AIDS? Maybe. Ralph might have AIDS. Yeah, I feel really bad. Okay, so note to self, herring is fine before a stream. But if I stream for 3 hours, I need to eat something else besides smoked oysters. Is there anything I can play? I don't know. I might go get crackers or something. If not, I'm out. I'm just dead. Actually, I think I'm feeling a little bit better. Let me try to read the Reddit segment. I'll keep trucking on, and if it rises again, I'm gonna find something to play. And then I'm gonna go. Maybe I'll let you guys listen to Ralph talk about fucking his child's grandmother again, and then I'll go get some crackers, chat, before I die. The smoked oyster cult. No, Chad, stop talking about oysters, please. We're done with that. Okay, this is a Reddit post. It says, I turned myself into a woman with AI and it completely broke me. I think I have completely lost it. 2 weeks ago, I made a nude, naked image of myself as a woman just for fun. She was super hot. I should have deleted it. Instead, I made more. Full body naked nudes. Filthy, sexy, erotic pictures of myself. Before I knew it, I had a whole gallery of myself in ways no man should ever see himself. Then after a while, I didn't even need the AI anymore. I could just picture it, close myself and imagine myself as a woman getting railed by me. Just me, my brain, and Cream Puff, my now battle-worn favorite fleshlight. Wow. Proper food, cleaning, and hygiene was already at a low priority before this. But this last 2 weeks has made it worse. 2 weeks of nothing but jerking it to the thought of fucking myself. Wow. I don't know what the Tariq Nasneed picture at the bottom means. I assume that means that he's buck broken. I would agree. I would say that this man is completely buck broken. Okay, chat. Let's do super chats before I die. Here we have a very, very special. Maybe, you know what? Maybe green is not the best color. Green is supposed to be soothing, but I don't want to see green right now. Purple. What's the least nauseating color? Oh, I can't do the green. I can't do it, chat. It's too green. We'll do purple. I don't know what the purple. Purple is for Lent. We'll do a purple background for this episode because it's Lent. I gave up caffeine. In case you're wondering, I gave up caffeine fully for Lent, so I'm not even taking caffeine while I drive anymore. And to be honest, I feel like that was a good decision. because I feel like my energy levels are high. I know that this is a very bad time since I'm about to throw up to mention this, but I think it was pretty high energy throughout the stream. I think it's just because I'm not going through highs and lows of caffeine anymore. If I drive, I drink a can of Monster, and that just like fucks up my recovery from caffeine. Okay. Okay. Let's let's read the super berries. You ready? Ready? Let's do this. Let's go, chat. The Ghost of Nintendo, for one, says, didn't expect Josh, who I considered not absolutely retarded and somewhat learned, to fall on the heels of the Russian propaganda, thinking Zelensky is the villain who caused this war so he'll get rich when he refused to run away and the West is exiled as retarded. Bro, he has killed millions of people. 1 million Ukrainian men have died fighting a war that they cannot possibly fucking win. It doesn't even matter if he's at fault for instigating it. I never made the claim that he was at fault for instigating it. My claim is specifically that he has thrown millions of bodies that Ukraine will never get back into a meat grinder for national sovereignty of a country that basically has existed independently in the modern era for like a decade at a time. And meanwhile, even if you were to ignore that principle and say that it's worth it because every nation is worth millions of bodies, even with that in mind, he has enriched himself billions of dollars in the process. He has mansions across the fucking world. When this is over, he's just going to leave the country and live somewhere happily ever after on the grave of 1 million people. That's my point. How easy it is to victim blame after reading some absolute nonsense on X. That's not where I form my opinion. I know the death toll. I know the fact that he has houses outside of the state. He's complaining about Andrew Tate. Georgia. This guy is definitely from like Eastern European country or Polish or something. He fucking hates Russians. See, here's the thing, bro. He sent 4 messages, and I get the gist of it. I'm not going to read them all because I'm going to throw up. The Ghost of Nintendo is so invested in his team sport that he's defending a Jew having millions of white men die. No more brother wars. Yeah, exactly. That's the issue. The point is just that he's made money off dead people, and he's going to leave the country when the war is over, and Ukraine's going to lose regardless. The only way you can support this war is if you want to see Russians die. If you're one of those people who hates Russia and you hate Russians and you want to see a total and complete genocide of Russian people, this is the war you support, especially if you don't care about Ukrainians. If you do care about Ukrainians, you want the war to be over. Preferably favorably to Ukraine, but that's not going to happen. I live there. I know the divide of the country. The people on that side of the country, in the Donetsk region, they speak Russian. And I know that's because during the Soviet era, they sent Russians out to these satellite states to populate them with Russians that are more loyal to the Russian government. But regardless, they speak Russian there. And a not insignificant number of the people in the land that's currently occupied support the Russian government. There are I knew people in Odessa who supported the Russian government. So it's a bad war. It's a bad war, and it profits the white race none at all. Zneed, for $100 by U.S. mail, says, those who say XMR is the only option, there is one widely adopted service that has withstood countless trials where you can send money to any American. I really enjoyed the stream. Anyone can climb the ladder to victory. All you need to do is find it. That's exactly right. Base postal chads. Always on standby, willing to actually go to their post office and send money by mail. What a lad. What a lad. Thank you very much. Sorry, if I don't sound too enthusiastic, it's because I have oysters in my throat. Dizzy Until Death for 5 says, I paid $5 for this, and for that, I thank you. New Housewife for 30 says, hey Josh, I saw this clip and it reminded me of your King Raymond 7. Hope you have a good weekend. Well, as I've established, I can't play videos on stream, but I will look at this. Oh.
Grab the Apache. Let's go.
This is classic.
Yeah, I have my my joystick here. I can fly.
Okay, good. Or like the physics they added in Terraria for the helicopters.
Okay, now I know. 100%, you're not playing Terraria.
Why do you fucking care?
No, you're not playing Terraria. I will not leave this channel, and I will not stop harassing you. You guys.
So you're admitting that you're harassing me.
Okay,
so you're admitting that you're being a giant dick.
Because you're being a dickhead. You're lying to me. You told me you've been a giant asshole. You had to do a fucking jerk thing.
Calm
just
down.
to make it look like you were playing Trey.
Calm down.
No, I will not calm down.
Why?
Why do you have to be such a jerk?
I'm not being a jerk. I'm playing Terraria.
You just told him to grab his joystick and get in the Apache. There is no Apache in Terraria. And stop saying there are. There is no update. Nothing you can do that will get an Apache in Terraria.
No, it's got really good physics.
Don't even say it. No. Nothing you will do will get it in Terraria. You're done. Stop lying.
Can you calm
Stop
down?
it. No.
He's really
Don't
upset.
even say it. If you're going to say Terraria again, then go away.
Terraria.
Classic old trolling video. That's what I mean by like the trains. Like he's mad that they're in the TeamSpeak channel for Terraria and playing some other games, so they're just fucking with them, talking about helicopters and shit. Excellent. Thank you. Humble Guardsman for 3 says, "Hi, how are you?" Great. I feel excellent. Thank you. Schwarzwald Noel for 10 says, "Showed my wife Butterdog and she loved it. She asked me how I came across it and I told her my friend Josh showed it to me. We are now friends whether you like it or not. I'm sorry, but you're constructing your own web of lies that will one day come crashing down on your head when she starts demanding more information about this Josh guy and his Butterdogs." Thank you. Bunker Housing for 3 says, "If you're an American and have HIV and are in Mexico, what are your options for treatment compared to if you're in the U.S. cost? I'm sure you can get like PrEP for fucking pennies on the dollar in Mexico. You don't even have a prescription." Pancake Luchador for 5 says, "Hey Josh, hope you're having a good fucking Lord. I can smell the shut up." What a terror! This guy made the super chat at the beginning of the stream, and it was just like a gut punch. I didn't need to see that. Come on now. What a disaster. Ballistic Characteristic for 20 says, "Hello and have a good weekend." Thank you. I appreciate it. You too. You have a great weekend. Space Allen for $50 says, "Ham Jam." And I don't know if my emojis are broken again, but they does not show up, unfortunately. Here, watch. I'll do this. I have a thing. Where's my Ham Jam? That's the Ham Jam right there. Bam. Okay. Cool. Thank you very much. Good Luck 7 for 2 says, "Slovenia's capital is pronounced Ljubljana. It means loved or the kissed." Well, there you go. This guy has invented a backronym way to pronounce this capital, which has no true pronunciation, and he even gave it a fake meaning, too. Isn't that lovely, chat? You have such creatives on this stream. Such creative listeners. Sneeden Feeden for 1 says, "The world deserves a better Hitler, one that isn't homosexual, Mexican, mutt Muslim, or a schizophrenic Negro." It's true. A better class of Islam to guide us into a white utopia. Unkind Nancy for 5 says, "Congratulations, Fattest. I'm glad you're merely overweight now. Get yourself a Beyond Meat bacon cheeseburger in a backpack. I think I'll be having crackers instead today, sir. Crackers." In case you're wondering, because I don't think anyone, I haven't said this on stream, I'm down 22 pounds, which means that I lost 22 pounds in just over a month of doing calories in and calories out. I think I lost some weight too when I just cut out coffee creamer, but I've lost enough where I've met a 2 pound a week goal going back to January 1st for the entire year. So I'm quite happy about that. Kurt Eichenwald, Anime Masturbator for 5 says, "Glorious Kiwi Emperor, thinking back on it, I think Made in the Abyss is just Stalker, but with pedophilia." I haven't watched Stalker either. I assume in the video game? I never watched Made in the Abyss, and I never watched Stalker, so I'm very bad at being able to comment on this. And anime is making me nauseous. I'm sorry. Jesus Christ for 2 says, "As the Father loved me, so have I loved you." That's nice to know. Hopefully you can help my tummy out here for just a couple more minutes. Pirate Mike for 20 says, "Happy Pizza Day. Please skip forward towards my Kiwi Green membership. I can't put Maddie's stuff towards Kiwi Farms. Sorry. Also skip to 1:30 in this video for our top secret hero appearance, please." Okay, well, you did say please. Let me see how long it takes to download this, because people don't listen to me when I say I can't play YouTube videos on the browser anymore. It's 11 megabytes. Okay, I can do this. 11:30. Let's see. What's it called? Election meltdowns? Okay.
Done.
I don't know who this is. Who's this guy? Is this what he's... I don't know if I'm supposed to know who this is or who this is. Guest star secret friend. Is that like that overlay? Is that PPP? Who the fuck is that? I honestly don't know what you're trying to show me. I apologize. Was it Ralph? I honestly have no idea what you're trying to show me. I'm sorry. I tried my best. Action Johnny for 10 says, I finally came back from rehab. I had a huge cocaine addiction and I kept yelling my name like a dumbass. I'm now simply called Mundane Johnny. Sounds like a good time, I guess. Thank you. Congrats on getting clean, by the way. I guess I should have said that. Wait. Give me a second. Just 1 second, chat. The comment that says he's getting more. I'm not. I have a cracker, okay? Polly wants a cracker real fucking bad. Okay. Barilla Furman for one says nothing. Thank you, Barilla Furman. I appreciate it. Chuck Poster for 5 says I can't sneed. I'm sorry to hear that. Don't get caught on a police camera video because they don't like it when you say that anymore. Asian tech support for 10 says, sup, cheese boy. Nothing much, bro. How you doing? Oh, man. Holy fuck. You reminded me of something. I'm going on a tangent. I kind of do want to like be done because I feel bad, but there's a song. If I can find this in like 30 seconds. Let me see. It was like, can I see? I wish there was like a thing where I could see like my recently played. I think I forgot what it was called. It was a weird ass song, and there's a lyric in it that just says like, I'm addicted to blue cheese. I wonder if I Google that. Song lyrics. I'm addicted to blue cheese. Is this it? Oh, it is. It's called Whoopty by CJ. Okay, hold up. I don't know. I laughed when I heard this song, though. It's a really black song. Let me see if the lyrics. Can I see the lyrics for this? Here we go.
Whoopty, bitch, I'm outside of some movie. Blue cheese, I swear I'm addicted to blue cheese. I gotta stick to this paper like.
That lyric makes absolutely no sense, in case you're wondering. It just comes out of absolute fucking nowhere, and he just says this.
Blue cheese, I swear I'm addicted to blue cheese. I gotta.
I don't know why it's in a rap. It's like a proper like rap black guy singing everything. It's not like a parody. He just loves blue cheese and he's singing about it. So I don't know. I guess it's wiggerish to like blue cheese now. Colia Dante for 10 says it puts the BBQ sauce on the skin or else it gets the hose again. I don't know what that's a reference to, but it seems threatening. Thank you. Humble Guardsman for 1 says Josh is a Vora expert. Oh yes I am. Sneedo for 1 says that tranny sounds more retarded than Chris. It's true, he does. Judy Testerfish says, unironically, I appreciate you bringing up how all the true shit affects women. It sucks out here for women who aren't handmaidens. It's true. Yeah, white women especially are the most politically disenfranchised group in America. And whoever manages to figure out how to get white women to actually come out and vote for them is going to win elections moving forward. Sergeant Wizard Fist for 5 says, thank you, Josh. Very base. We shall all eradicate the Turk roaches and retake Constantinople. Based conversion pilled. Go, John the Baptist, and baptize to the extreme. Kronberger for 2 says, it was glazed over as a joke earlier in the episode, but it is a fact that Null is built for PBC. Fuck off. Big smoked oysters. That's I made myself nauseous trying to retrofit that. Mr. Manchester for 10 says, not going to lie, some chicken nuggets sound good right now. Dude, tell me about it. I would love something soft on the stomach. The Croatian guy says the thing. Thank you. Pseudosides for 5 says, hello, Josh. Happy Pi Day. Oh, it is Pi Day. Happy Pi Day. Happy Pi Day to all my science trannies out there digging holes and shit. Thank you. Dragoons for 5 says, thanks for the invitation here, Theater, but I'm fasting. Grape leaves still suck rocks. Ew. How do you have such bad taste? Digital Euro D's Nuts for 2 says, Eurofags, Monero allows you to donate verified hash posters fully anonymously, requiring zero government permission or oversight. It is your duty to seek out crypto-friendly businesses to help undermine the current financial system. Base and Monero pilled. Thank you. Nito for 1 says, I hope that bitch Beck suffers in California and stays there and doesn't move to a different state. Well, now that you've said that, you're gonna she's gonna move right next to you. That's what's gonna happen. Koli Dante for 10 says, no such thing as a hereditary Hebrew priestess. If there's any hereditary Jewish priestess, it's the Kohanim, Cohens, and various spellings variations who are patrilineal. I don't know what that means. I thought Jewishness was matrilineal. I don't know what you're saying. Sorry. I don't know enough about my Jew facts, apparently. Porglack, for 1 says, the Jeets at work are trying to make it so we have 2-factor authentication for us to query our databases. Got to check out our phone for any database pull. Wow. That is probably due to PCI compliance. If you have cardholder information in your database, because PCI compliance is obsessed with like that kind of shit, like kind of like pointless security, quote unquote security. Pancake Luchador for 2 says, when the road collapse we do to the tranny tunnel, the people cheering it will simply say nothing. The only good thing from that would be a buried idiot troop, but that's not going to happen. The sex slave will be the one dying in the tunnel. Meet Spaceman for 2 says, good day, Josh. Thanks for the stream. I hope this Lent is going well for you. Oh, it's going fantastic. Thank you. Sneedo for 1 says, what's the chances of this tranny getting crushed by his 800-pound F-35 driving on the road? TTD. Base F-35 drivers crushing tranny tunnels all night and day. Judy Tester for 3 says, let's do some culturally female hobbies this weekend, like pulling a gun on people you don't like, wanting to be naked in public, digging holes, computer science, and mathematics. Those fields, they don't want you to know this, but those fields are 90% women at this point in time. Unironically. Real, genuine women. Unkind Naysayer for 2 says, sorry my super chats are never relevant. Friday streams are my work hours. Just gotta throw you some money and comment about last stream. LOL. Don't you worry. Don't apologize. It's okay. I'll suffer through the super chats as I do. Even when I'm sick. Fortier for 5 says, archive everything, fuck YouTube. One of my favorites AI cover songs was removed from YouTube and now it's fucking gone. Oh, that sucks, bro. They do hate AI, even though it should be legal, but they complain. You know how it is. Young Pai Cheng for 10 says, thank you, Josh. Thank you. I appreciate it. Orion from the Grillcast pretends says Turkish people being fat is way more common than you think. My GF is Turkish, and she's by far the smallest girl in her immediate family community, even though she weighs 255 pounds. That is a series of self-owns that is quite interesting, and I thank you for sharing all that. I appreciate learning more about Turkey. Of course, you know how I am about Turkey. I just can't get enough of Turkey. Thank you. Good luck 7 for 1 says Medicare did stream on Tophiachu where her grandma shat in front of a motel she was thrown out of. That's fucking gross. It's a shame. Shame she's no longer with us. Porglac for 2 says if you were 600 pounds and had to clean yourself with a stick and a cool scientist offered you to give you tank treads or a baby yoga pot, which would you choose? Bro, I have absolutely no fucking idea what this question is. I'm gonna pick tank treads so it has tank in it now. Good luck 7 for 10 says, the way you pronounce Ljubljana is how Russell Greer talks normally. Well, maybe he's from Slovenia. He's adopted. Who knows? He could be Slovenian. Thank you. Cheese94 for 2 says, it would be amazing if we could choose a small variety of locales to read our super chats. We could include Ethan Rao, Patrick Chantal, and Queen Kafal could be options. Yeah, that's how it usually works. They have like AI synthesized voices. Like I think on Comfy's thing they have Donald Trump. And okay, I need another cracker, chat. Give me a second. I need another cracker.
Blue cheese, I swear I'm addicted to blue cheese. I gotta stick to this paper like blue sleep. Bitch, I'm by my chicken like it's a 2-piece. You can have your bitch back, she a groupie. She just swallow all my kids in a 2-seat. Swagged out. From here, we bringing them gas out. I still got some racks stuffed in the trap house. Off the 42, I'm blowing her back out. I'm back on my bullshit. Spin back with a full clip. They say I'm moving ruthless. And my shooters, they shooting. I won't take her, they roof, Chris. I get the breeze, then it's adios. If I'm with your trees, then she give it though. When I see police, then we gang low. That's another piece, that's another zone. Ice in the VVs, now she down to get treachy. I got all this water on me like Fiji. Bitch, I'm posted up with hats and the sleazies. Smoking the Zaza, they go straight.
Okay, I'm back. I'm hanging in there, chat. Let's try it. I got a couple left. Let's go. Let's go fast, chat. Let's go fast. Divas to V for 5 says, Jag the Luxray kidnapped my dog, type 333 to fight. Free my dog. Free this homie's dog, type 333. DB Deluxe for 2 says, Aniza is the norm now. Walk around any U.S. city and look at the 1834 demo. Literal MS Paint tier garbage all over themselves. Gross. Tragic chat, couldn't be me. Breadwash for 5 says, I'm only listening while at work, but you describing the baby's flat head and their shit mamas filled me with unyielding rage. Well, you and many, 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 many other people in that thread. And on the Snark subreddits. Debugs for 1 says, I remember you talking about Aniza crying about her father's Alzheimer's a while back. One of her family members messaged him, hi, telling him that in reality she doesn't give a fuck about her dad. Wow. Crazy. I can believe it. Then Anime Sucks Cope and Sneed for 5 says, let me call in. No, Anime Sucks Cope and Sneed for 5 says, pizza day, and then there's a link. I'm not opening that. I'm already nauseous. Burger for 2 says, Josh will sit there and listen to DSP talk about pizza for 10 minutes uninterrupted, but cuts my pizza voicemail off. I see how it is. Fucked up, bro. Sorry, bro. Don't mean to disappoint. MA Sex Cope and Sneed says, yeah, the fuck is up with the Snark subreddits? They wouldn't let me and Chantal become gross. Foxes for 5 says, you think you hate predators enough, but you don't. You really fucking don't. You absolutely cannot hate predators enough. The Bugs for 5 says, the biggest crime of you talking about Jack Scalfani on streams is not shitting and critiquing his house build. Bro, this better be fucking amazing, whatever you're sending me. Okay, that is funny. So that's Jack's house that he paid for. That was like what he picked off the website for blueprints. And that's what he got. I think he requested a few minor adjustments to the design. Yeah, it doesn't really meet expectations. Okay, next. Anime Sex Copa says, address the words that come out of my mouth. There is $5 attached here. Okay, you're happy. DB Deluxe for 2 says, years ago, Baldo shamed you for living out of a suitcase with your belongings. Have you placed your clothes into a dresser yet, or does the vagabond lifestyle persist? I do, in fact, have a dresser now. Koi Dante for 10 says, Ralph speaking to the homeless, mentally ill incest victim with no skills who is hated by every member of her family, not actively violating her. You are about to have a downward spiral. I think he means in the internet career sense, which is the only thing that matters to him. Anime Sucks Open Seat for 1 says, work at Whataburger. No, I do not. President Nintendo for 2 says, longtime super chat is a very strange way to describe our bromance. It's the best I could do on the spot. Haramburger for 2 says, clams help you slam, but oysters make her moister. Ancient fish fucker wisdom. Might be true. It might make anybody adjacent to me moist if they, if I... Humble Guardsman for 5 says, sometimes I dream about cheese, bro. Same, bro. Fintard for 10 says, 6 months ago, heard this album. Album was kind of shit, but the intro has this voice of the saint. I know you would like to hear the saint in music. I don't know what you're referring to. I think you mean Whoopty? I honestly don't know. Sorry. Octavia sales rep for 5 says, don't worry about cutting the caffeine for Lent. I'm drinking your share. Based. Thank you. Appreciate the help. Guy Safari for 10 says, I'm dealing with a Ralph of my own, a loser that stalks me daily, makes up things about me, and targets friends and fans. How would you handle a goblin like this? Ignore him, document everything. If he goes across the line, report to the police. They'll never respond. And you might want to tell people to ignore him as well. Baldo Pagans for 5 says, hey, I just got here. What'd I miss? Quite a bit. It's been a long stream, actually. I hope... you missed me doing the worst super chat read ever to fucking exist. Doc's Found for 10 says, I know you're trying to lose weight, but you can't just have 0 carbs and then stand up for hours at your desk. You'll get hypoglycemic. Here's $10. Get some pizza. You'll feel better. I don't have 0 carbs, but today I did just eat protein. Thank you. Humble Guardsman for 10 says, quality cracker eating ASMR. Thank you. Thank you. I'm happy to supply. Fintard for 2 says, forgot the link. Don't bitch out. YouTube doesn't have video. Okay, let's see what the song is. I'll eat a cracker while it plays. How about that? This is Fugget, Astral Consciousness full albums.
You know, they were making fun of my upper octave. Maybe I should just stay in 1 octave. No. You know, basically, this is kind of humiliating. What do? You just act like a monkey. I don't fucking plan the melody in my head. Are you kidding me? No, I just fucking hit keys and then repeat it, see if it sounds good. I sort of got a feel for planning the notes a little bit. Mostly it's being a monkey, you know. There's anti-patterns and shit. It's not so. It was a weird.
That's pretty good. It's a downshifted version of the Temple OS theme music. It's kind of sad though when you downshift it like that. Albert Wesker 156 for 10 says, thanks for keeping the website up, Josh. Happy to hear about the weight loss. Keep it up. Thank you. Pimpman for 10 says, can you check out this 5-second video? Okay.
Buttercat, yo, it's the buttercat, yo, it's the cat with the buttercat.
I did not realize that there was a buttercat. Thank you. Cena for 1 says, your pizza party comment reminded me of a soulless Walmart Facebook post where it was Walmart employee pizza party and every employee was forced to have a smile. I think you saw the Maddie thread. I've seen the Walmart pizza party song. Crispy Legs for 10 says, happy Friday. Thank you, happy Friday. Appreciate it. Colia Dante for 20 says, I make my own Bloomy Rind cheese with mold. I found it's pretty good, but wild camembert strains sometimes are toxic, so I stopped super chatting one day. You know I died a hero. Good luck, Cheese Explorer. Thank you. Poop Tickler for 2 says, fuck you, Texas. Fuck Texas. Not even numerals for 5 says, anime, and uncredited for 1 says, 21 pilots suck ass. Fuck you. Okay, goodbye.
All together, always round and round.
So I did throw up, which is why the video was broken. This is a video by Silly Poo. It's called Hoop Skirt. It's her, she does these very esoteric videos in that style. If you're interested in seeing the full video, it has references to locales and stuff if you're interested. It is, it's on our YouTube channel. This is her Women's Day video. I gotta go. Have a great weekend, chat. Bye-bye.